We are
Welcome
here.
aboard, everybody. Welcome aboard, everybody. Hi, how y'all doing this Tuesday? We are ready for some pirates. Here we are on Buy Leaps and Bounties. You two can get this shirt, by the way.
You can indeed. I
You
Yes,
will
can.
find
tons
the
of
link.
merch.
Yes. Um, yeah, welcome to Buy Leaps and Bounty, presented by Rook and Rasp. We are using the 7th Second Edition system for this. And we are not affiliated with Chaosium, but we enjoy their games and are having a good time, a rough time. One could even say a stormy time. And yeah, so I'm pretty excited to get into this. I don't know if we'll go through our introductions and we shall get started. I'm Danny. I'm the storyteller. And we shall go with Michael.
I'm Michael. I am playing Andreas, and he is currently teetering either becoming very pissed off or very worried. Possibly both.
Mm-hmm. Rue?
Hi, my name is Rue Thompson, and I play Ace McCanson, who has been having a pout most of the day.
John.
Hello,
In the
everyone.
dashing coat.
Thank you. I played Gianni Messina, the Vidachi rogue of the group. And yeah, you already probably know me. I am John.
And last, and fashionably least, we have
Whoa.
Ella
Whoa,
over
Okay,
there.
that was
Okay.
ruder than I think
Rephrase
you
on
meant it
that?
to be. That was, ouch. You are the fashionably least.
Wow.
The least
Sorry.
of us, but fashionable.
Demon
Okay, at the
clothes.
moment, yes. I don't have
Yes.
the demon clothes. I barely have most of my skin. So really, it's... Hello, I'm Ala. I'm playing Nanette Quimber, who's had a rough day after a series of really rough days, and just needs a really good scream into a pillow, but not the good kind. So
Y'all?
let's see where this goes.
Y'all, I figured out, I looked at a calendar and I mapped out the things that we've done. Remember my jokes about it still being Tuesday? We all remember that fun time, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Thursday afternoon. It's literally not even 48 hours since
Since the big battle?
since Andreas was in the tournament. It's been hours since the big battle, John. It's literally
Yeah.
within 3 days.
Wow.
So yeah, we should not be alive right now under normal circumstances because we haven't taken the time to just sit for at
Really?
all.
Some
Yeah.
of us barely are.
Yeah, no, that's if you figured out, yeah, no, everything has been within a matter of hours. Every time we get a timeline, it's hours.
Yeah.
So it's been a hell of a midweek. It's
Uh-huh.
not even
Yeah.
Friday yet.
Talk about hump day, huh?
Look, we're just doing a good weekend. That's what it is.
I was trying.
All right.
I mean, what?
I don't know why I was a little less fluid with my intro than I usually am. I don't think I've forgotten anything. Intro, welcome aboard, everybody. I think we're all good. Is there anything y'all need to say before we get started, John and Rue, channel wise?
We'll do that at break. We don't need to do it right now.
Okay. Alrighty then. Let's get started. All right. So we have our book once again. Dark, blackish leather cover and all of that. We have the fate strands in one corner. And the other, we have the kind of half compass design. In the other, that one has the profile. The one in the upper left-hand corner has the profile. The one below that has the compass. And the final one has the drop of blood and the little frames on the corner of the embossed cover of the book. It has By Leaps and Bounties embossed on it. It opens, you see the first chapter, The Darkness Within. The second chapter, No One Expects, and it opens to the third chapter of book 2. And it says Riders on the Storm on the front. And there is, of course, a black and white picture. And the quote below it says, "There's a killer on the road. His brain is squirming like a toad." The Doors, of course. Riders on the Storm.
It's the worst line of that song.
Right? It's the worst line. It is. It's the most. It's the not the most pleasant one, if it is. But anyway, we go on to the picture, and it is black and white of a looking out of a window, and there is a storm that can be seen out the window frame, looking very dark and heavy out there. And the frame starts to move, and we hear loud wind blowing by, and we hear shouting in the street as the noise comes into play, and color starts to wash over it in grays and blacks and the browns of the wood of the window and all of that. And we shall go ahead and start with Nanette. And as we, kind of pull back and around the room, we see that Nanette and Ace are still there in the room. And Gianni has just left. Gianni has just left. Well, keep in mind the short time frame. So, yeah.
We're intimately
Gianni
familiar with this.
This is the room where sleep happens. It's my favorite room.
Yeah. Gianni is out trying to get everybody inside, and Andreas has left to go find his friend that he was going to meet. So what are Ace and Nanette going to do while that occurs?
So you're awkwardly bandaging yourself, right? Isn't that what was happening?
I figure Nanette's been bandaged by the sisters when she rolled up with all the cripples. So she's probably just fiddling with her bandages at this point.
Can you stop that? It's not going to help.
I'm sorry.
Look.
No, it's all right. I'm fine. You don't need to.
Okay. Do you want me to help you or not? I mean, I don't have to.
No. What's the point of you trying to help me right now? We might all die in an hour or two. So.
I don't. Well, that would be terrible. You've been in a lot of storms. You can't even see it, so I mean, maybe it'll only bother me. We don't know yet.
The worst one was when we were on the Utrecht. Everything else is just a pleasant summer rain here.
Well, I'll tell you,
This isn't a coastal city.
No, it's not, which concerns me a little bit. Generally, storms like this do not get this far inland and be at the level of intensity that we're seeing right now. Usually they die out long before they get this far inland. So the concern I have is that this is a I think it's probably coming from the Whisper. I mean, I can't really come up with any reason why nobody else can see it, because you could definitely see the last one, but he does have both bracers now, and that doesn't make me feel real good, knowing that maybe he can do stuff like this now, but
You didn't have much of a choice.
I certainly didn't think I did. But
We wouldn't have thought he would do something like this. I mean, why? What reason does he have? Unless, it can't be us. We're inconsequential. We gave him what we wanted.
I would think that we are inconsequential. I really don't know. As far as I know, he doesn't know that we sabotaged the ship. And, like, it really didn't even hurt him in the long run. If he was able to get going in 5 hours, that's nothing.
He did sound pretty mad, though, which...
I mean, he sounds pretty mad all the time. Anytime I've talked with him, even when he was calm, he was that something violent and angry is bubbling under the surface. The only thing that he might be after is probably the ships in the harbor, because he does not care for the church. He made that quite clear.
He knew we were going to meet the Inquisition here. I mean, what a better target would... But, it's our fault. We delayed the Archer. They should have... The storm would have caught them at sea. But now that we're waiting to find the Cardinal, who they will never get back, probably.
Well, how would he know that we were here? Do you think the only one who possibly knew was...
we told them where we were going. We at least told you why.
Oh, you told... Okay, yes, that's...
We did mention it, yes, and...
Yeah.
As you guys were talking, Nanette, it all of a sudden, it's been dark. You can see the storm, Ace. So, it's dark outside to you. You can see it coming in, and it's starting to get darker as the storm is rolling in. As you said, it's probably about like an hour away or so, the last time you had saw it.
Yeah.
But now, Nanette, as you're talking to Ace, and this happens, it starts to darken in the room. Like from the window, it starts to get dark, and you look out and you can see now the storm on the horizon.
Yeah, I'm not gonna react to it because it's been that way for me.
Yeah, it's been that way for you. Yeah.
I talked to my brother a minute ago, and he saw the storm too. So I'm pretty sure that if we had a way that we could maybe, we've used Kaya before.
It might be dangerous.
Of course,
can't have you risking him, especially if he's in a mood to destroy, partially a huge city. If he is, does he know? Does he know where the storm is going?
Kaya?
No, Silent Death.
I would assume so. Do you think that it just can send weather and not? I would assume there was some point to it. That's why I don't understand.
I don't know how the bracer works. Bracers? Together?
I don't know how they work either, except they hurt a whole lot. I've been...
what if we told him that we could get rid of the ships? Like we had planned to? Maybe he won't need to destroy Hava City.
Well, we'd have to use my brother. And if I'm okay with that. I know that mechanically out of game, Roxanne can spend a hero point to make sure that Kaya is safe. But
that's what it takes.
We don't have a lot of options, Nanette, and Ace is clearly uncomfortable, but she's trying. I don't know if... Would you rather we reached out to your friend instead?
Which one?
Mr. Dubois.
Oh, he's... Please don't misunderstand. He is my creditor, not my friend.
Forgive me if signals are a little mixed on that point.
Either way, if I had any way of reaching him, which I do not, unfortunately.
Well, we could leave... I'm asking, should we leave the letter for him, or should we leave the letter for the captain?
I'm not sure. If he cares about the city, maybe he can stop Silent Death, or ask him to stop. But I don't know what to expect of that man.
Well, would you like me to go ahead and try? I can. The way that it works, I believe, is that because you've seen me talk to him before, correct? And you could hear what I said.
Yes.
So you can, and I can hear and feel everything that's happening to him. So I assume that he can also hear and feel anything that is happening to me. So we can, for a very brief time, work together on words. Words are not my strong suit. So, but I do think I should be the one that it's from me if we're sending it to the captain.
You have some sort of relationship with him, hopefully a positive one?
We did not part unamicably, as far as I could tell. I don't think we parted as friends, but we at least parted in peace.
Then
But I did
use
sabotage
your
his
words.
ship later.
Eh,
I mean, he doesn't know
also, look, he killed a number of your crew, so really, you went easy on him.
that. Well, I can definitely do that. Is there any way that I could roll a notice check to see if Ace notices that she's not wearing her ring?
Sure.
I mean, that's hands are bandaged up,
just
but
one.
Completely?
they're pretty bandaged up, yeah.
Well, if you don't think that I would be able to tell, then I won't do it.
I mean, it's up to you. Probably notice it was a really
It was a chunky
of a
ring.
wedding ring. Yeah.
and
Yeah.
something definitely looks wrong. Well,
Yeah.
I mean, I
Go
do have
ahead.
really
I
good
mean, I'll
eyes.
only make it. Yeah, I mean, I'll just say you can go ahead and notice that because it would only be like
Sweet.
a very small,
Sweet.
you know,
Yeah,
because you
I
guys are
mean,
there talking to each
I
other.
can look
so,
at it. I
you
can
know.
look at a ring's inscription from a mile away.
Yeah.
Let's
Yeah.
read the book and see. What
I
the
don't think
text-
you even need to roll the notice check to
That's what
see
she
that
said.
she
That's
is
what they
now
said.
wearing
That's
the
what they said.
chonker.
I mean, yeah, we can use my words.
Well,
I will do my best.
in case your words are not enough, I am going to try and muster whatever men we have here to do triage, get
Oh,
supplies
yes.
for the sisters.
I didn't
um,
know if you could fight weather. I've not seen that, but I'm also not trained in
No,
Montaigne
but-
methods of self-defense.
I have resources and I can at least procure supplies and prepare for what will likely be a very long night and worst several days, as I'm assuming there will be lots of flooding and there are a lot of people that will be affected by that. This is not the
Well-
city really meant for drainage of this sort of storm capacity.
I mean, I'm sure you've had flooding, but I don't know what this will
Oh,
do to the
not
river.
not in this level of storm, especially not after the Emperor decided to rebuild this bloody docks. Great for business, absolutely terrible for any sort of drainage. And
Well-
those are likely going to be destroyed. So, where are the crew of the Utrecht staying at? Are they near the docks, right?
They are at a tavern in town. They're a bit separated from the docks, but I can send someone to fetch them.
All right, we
I
will need
think
all the
they-
manpower we can get, at
The
least.
children
to-
are there.
Oh,
Did I tell you that?
oh, thank you for letting me know that we need to get them to safety.
We will. We will. They spoke very fondly of you. Believe me, we can handle it. They will be all right.
And with that, I would like to switch. See, is there anything else you guys want to do, or were you just going to continue the conversation?
We were gonna start writing the letter.
Okay, I'll come back to that then. I would like to move on to Andreas. Okay, so you have arrived at the place at the dueling arena where you were going to practice with Rosaline.
Rosaline
Rosaline.
Rosaline
would be the pronunciation.
Okay. All right, I'll just remember it to the tune of Jolene, and then I'll remember it.
Perfect.
Rosaline. Okay. Yeah, there we go. All right. And you know, of course, the Davis is with you, as he is. I see him back there,
Always.
looking very Davisy. And he had said that there was going to be a lot of blood spilled tonight, which is true.
And I had just heard that she had not arrived whatsoever, and the Duelist Academy had.
She had, right. Yeah, you didn't see her. She had not arrived. No one had seen her. So what are you going to do?
Um, I would immediately run to the or make as fast as I could go without like being obtrusive. Make my way to the Musketeers compound.
Okay. So you are walking towards the Musketeers area, and you see Rosaline running towards you. She looks like she kind of threw on clothes really, really fast. And because she's got like plain shirt and whatever, and she's like running, and she catches sight of you, and she runs up to you. And she says, I'm sorry I didn't make it. They had a call for the Musketeers to go and protect at the palace.
Of course,
Something is going on.
What's going on?
All I heard was it had something to do with the Inquisition soldiers in town. That's all I heard.
Is the Emperor safe?
As far as I know.
And are you released? Because I'd hate for you to get into any trouble by helping us instead of doing your duty.
Well, I'm just training right now. So, I was technically supposed to stay at the headquarters, but they won't miss me, I'm pretty sure.
It looks like, well, let's head back there because it looks like we're not going to be doing anything tonight. And I'd much rather you not get into trouble and damage your chances at your dream than that. And I will come with you.
Okay. You start walking back towards walking towards the Musketeer headquarters, and it starts to get dark. And now you can see, if you turn and look down the street, you see that storm on the horizon now, and it seems like a lot of people around you are starting to see it as well, including Rosaline. And you start to hearing shouts go up, and about what a storm, and people are like freaking out because this was not there like a minute ago.
As I pass by, I think Andreas would just say, "Get inside, shutter your windows."
Yeah, people start, they're not doing it already.
Yeah, no. So he would just, but no, and then he would say, "We should probably move faster now to get so that we make it to the palace before whatever this is opens up on us."
Yeah. I mean, some people were like running indoors. Some people were frozen, and when you kind of like tell them, they kind of shake out of it and start running into houses and stuff like that, as well as you make your way to the palace. So you make your way to walking. As you walk, of course, this all gets more and more fancy as you're walking down towards the palace. And you can tell, I mean, as someone whose family deals with ships and would know weather and storms and stuff like that, I mean, you absolutely know that there's no way this city, especially this section, is built to withstand something like what you see coming on the horizon and what Ace described to you. Like, it's an inland, whatever. They don't get storms like this.
No.
So.
This is bad. I'm assuming the Emperor is being protected in his chambers.
I would assume so.
The palace does not look like it's built for weather at all.
No, not really.
Ooh. It's gonna go really bad if he needs to. I don't know.
Can't find the letter.
Let's just get there.
My dog thinks she can. She barks at it. She thinks she can change the weather.
Go
ahead.
Not as useful as we are.
I just say let's go. Let's get there. I mean,
Yeah. So you both start like jogging, probably, or are you outright like running?
We're probably outright running at this point. We probably have been outright running since the storm started.
Since you could see it, yeah. Okay. All right. Cool. All right, so we'll come back to you heading to the palace. We're gonna go to Gianni. Okay, so you've been going through the streets, just
Yeah, banging pans and yelling out that the press gangs are coming.
alrighty. So you're doing that, and you've been doing that for a little bit. When all of us, when the sky starts to get dark, and you now see that storm as you're walking down the street and look out towards the ocean. You now see that storm that Ace was describing on the horizon, and everyone around you is starting to see it as well. Outcries go out around you, like, oh my God, and children crying, people trying to get inside. Some are nudging other people along who are kind of like frozen, that sort of thing. People trying to get inside. I am going to have you. Okay. I want you to do a wits and how many dots do you have in Sorte?
Ooh. The way I've got it written out, let me look really quick. I have
Or like, where's your Sorte at?
At least in sorcery. 3 different times
Okay.
I've taken it.
Okay. All right. So let's do your wits and sorcery here. I'm going to give you, it's all going to be a 3 success sort of thing. 3 successes. One to, see what notice what it is. 2 to kind of make sense of it. And, the 3rd to maybe get a little bit more information.
All right. Well, I did roll a 10.
Right.
I have a 7 with a 6 for that second success. I have another 7 with a 7 for a 3rd success. And if we can treat my sorcery as an actual skill, I should have a reroll since I have 3 dots in it. Is that
Sure.
okay?
Yeah,
It is
go for it.
technically
Go
your
for it. Go for it. Yeah, go
All
for
right.
it.
Didn't give me anything more.
How many total did you have?
3 successes total with 1 dice left over.
All right. I will take that die, give a hero point. All right. You look at this storm, and you see like it almost is like it's like there was something about it. It's kind of like when you look at something and it's like a little sparkly a little bit, and you're like, what is that in the clouds? And as you're looking and you kind of feel and kind of look and try to suss out what this might be, you see that the storm is laced with fate lines.
That's not normal. Okay. I'm also going to go ahead and run to the convent. Still doing my performance from earlier. I'm gonna go check in with Mom and see if she has any ideas on that.
Oh, okay. All right. So you go to the convent, and you see, the sisters are like preparing for a storm as best they can. They've pulled out like boards, and they've, this is haphazard because this is literally almost no warning. But they're doing the best they can to try to bust up the convent as much as they can. And they see you. One of them sees you as they're running around, and catches notice of you and kind of looks at you like expectantly.
Where is my mother?
She's inside, tending to the survivors.
I need to speak with her immediately. Get people
Yes,
to
yeah,
someplace.
She hands over some boards to some. Okay, keep going.
No.
What are you gonna?
Do not let anybody go into the catacombs. They are going to flood in this. I know that we've used it before to get people around the city. Do not let them go.
She nods. She turns to another sister and hands over the wood she was carrying to her and tells her what you just said. And she's like, come, I'll take you to your mother. And she starts hurrying into the convent. And,
I'm just yelling out. I'm actually yelling her name. Angelique!
Okay. Yeah, you eventually, the sister takes you down and you see her and she's with some of Nanette's staff and everything down there, and she's trying to set them up to be moved, if that's possible. So, yeah.
No,
Gianni, what are you?
I need you.
What are you doing?
I need you to follow me outside.
She passes off whatever she was carrying and follows you.
I point up to the clouds.
She starts cursing in Bodachi. Like,
We know for a fact that this is silent death. It has something to do with the fact that he has both bracers.
I mean, perhaps.
It's something.
Part
Somehow
of what
he
I
is.
found out.
Mm-hmm.
Part of what I found out and how we were able to determine that this was, in fact, Dante, was figuring out why he would want the bracers. And I hadn't gotten a chance to go on about it with everything going on, but our bloodline is tied to the Tempest, the sailor from so long ago that did all of this stuff. Perhaps he was like you and your brother. It's the only thing I could think of that could do something like this. There were stories, I'm sure, if you looked in Bodachi, you could find some of them about the Tempest coming out of nowhere, followed by storms, and being able to hide, and a quick turnaround for his crew, thought of as merciful. But magic like this, I mean, and when she says it's life magic, and it makes sense to you when you see that these are life strands that you are seeing in the clouds, like these are tied to somebody's life, and it occurs to you that one thing that you had been cautioned about was, you know, using fate to kind of manipulate objects and things like that. And you suspect that maybe this is something where that's what the bracer works off of. That what Silent Death is essentially doing is using the life force of either people nearby or something like that to create something this big without hurting himself. It would make sense. Spreading out the damage between a bunch of people would allow him to create such a thing.
Either way, that storm is going to try and destroy the city. I do not think there's anything we can do except to mitigate whatever damage we can. I told the sisters, keep people out of the catacombs. I suspect everything is going to fly. Find some place with thick walls and some place that won't fall down on you.
And you're saying that, and she's kind of contemplating the clouds. She says, if he's truly using fate lines to power this, perhaps you and I and anyone else that I can gather, perhaps we could do something about that.
I will try if you tell me what to do.
I'll have to gather as many sortie as I can. We don't have much time. We shall have to get out as far as we can to be as close as we can.
Okay.
Right. I'll meet you down by the docks where the storm is coming in. 1/2 hour.
1/2 hour. Do that. If I have time, I'm running back to the group.
Yeah, you'll have time for that to run back. So let's go back to Ace and Nanette. Still in the room.
So, I have gotten a piece of paper and a quill. I'm sure that I sourced the finest paper and quills that I could find in the house and put them in easy reach of wherever I am at all times, or probably just pocketed it and stole it. I've started, and I'm like, how do you think I should refer to him, Captain Death, or shall I just throw in the villain?
Don't overcomplicate things. You've talked to him before, and
yeah, and I thought he was going to kill me that time. Oh wait, I don't have to write this.
We don't have a lot of time. Yes, just tell your brother some words.
I just wanted an excuse to write. Okay.
We can't. Please. I need to go try to muster whoever is available.
If you need to leave, that's fine.
You'll be all right. Should we reconvene at the convent?
If you think that is the best place to go.
It's not the worst. It has a fairly decent structure to it, and it's elevated enough.
It's stone, so yeah.
The majority of the homes in Montaigne, and Charust especially, would be stone. It's that usually areas of high density, lower income are going to be lower floodplain, and those will flood. And that's like, well, I need to try and get as many people out of that space and be ready.
I will see what I can do. Good luck.
You too. I believe in you, and your words, though brash sometimes, may get through to him.
We'll see.
Let me... Can I mark an object of yours? Just in case. Okay, just it.
You marked it last week.
Okay. It's been a while.
Yeah. It's on my gun handle.
My marks are fuzzy, but I should be able to find you just in case.
I'll make myself very findable. I promise.
Sorry, I just had images of how Ace was going to accomplish that.
She's a head and shoulders taller than most of the people in Montaigne. So
it's true.
That's true. When I'm alone, I will make sure I am once again facing a dark corner and close my eyes, and I will spend a hero point to reach out again to Kaya, even though I didn't think I was going to be doing this so soon. I'll be like, oh, sorry, call back.
Indeed. Okay, yeah. It takes a bit, for him to, but when you kind of are seeing and smelling and through him, you're out on the sea still. He is out on the deck. Seems to be pretty nice out where he is. Seems to be pretty clear as far as the deck goes. You just kind of see some sailors doing typical, tying ropes and sailing ships and stuff. So it doesn't look like you don't see Silent Death or Dubois or anyone like that.
Or is Kaya in a different place?
Kaya's on the deck. You just don't see them anywhere. So they could be below, they could be...
Okay, I'm just saying they're not where they were the last time when they were up on the quarter.
Right. Okay. Right. They are not. Yeah. Yeah. And Kaya kind of pauses for a second when he realizes you're there.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I hope I don't have to keep doing this. I really do. I have no reason or recourse to ask you this, but we don't have a lot of time. Can you write another letter for me?
He kind of looks, you see, looking around, you
I know.
know.
I know. Can you sneak off somewhere? If you have any of our genetics, if we share anything, you can find a place to hide on a ship. There's always a place not far from the head that you can usually get out of sight pretty quick.
He nods, and you hear him say something like, I'm gonna go down below and get some more of this rope here. And the guy starts to be like, well, we have plenty right there. And he just kind of ignores him and like goes off.
Yeah.
I mean, not the
Ace
smoothest thing
has
in the world, but
Ace has a brief swelling just in her heart, knowing that her brother is sailing, and she's also kind of jealous.
Yeah, so he goes down into the ship.
Okay.
And the Whisper is nothing if not, doesn't have a lot of extra that you can see, you know, like
Spartan?
kind of a little bit, you know, utilitarian stuff. Except, well, as Gianni would know, except for Silent Death's room, which has a whole bunch of cool stuff in it. But other than that, it did. But he goes down and he's kind of in like a kind of looks like a bunk area, sort of, you know, hammocks and stuff strung places. And he kind of goes off into a corner. You see a couple people sleeping in the hammocks, and he goes and he pulls out some paper and a quill, and he kind of sits on his bed, like on a hammock, and he looks like, you know, he's about, you know, I'm just writing home about my pirate life, you know, like being.
Oh, so he's like laid out on his bed, his feet are kicked up behind him, and he's like,
yeah, you know,
like got his little sticker sheet, and he's put a little heart on it.
He's got the quill in his mouth,
and his end of his. Yep.
It's a Lisa Frank journal, right?
It is.
It has to be a Lisa Frank.
It lights up this dim cabin with all the fluorescent colors.
But yeah, so he has paper and a quill.
Okay. Okay. I'm gonna make it short. We don't have a lot of time. Captain, I regret having to contact you like this, but time is of the essence. We are in Charus, and I see the gift that you have for the people here. The Cardinal is gone and taken care of. Whatever you need done here, let us do it without hurting the innocents. Signed, Ace McYanson. No one knows her last name except for maybe him, I think. Not my friends don't know my name.
Yeah, he finishes writing and he pulls out another paper, you know, another sheet, and he writes, you sure about this? ?
I am. It's too dangerous. The amount of people here, this storm is one of the worst I've seen, Kaya. It feels worse than the one that I saw on the Utrecht. And I don't want to put you in trouble, but if you can find a way to get this to him without it implicating you. I'm sorry I have to ask you to do this.
He says, I understand. He writes that down. He says, I understand. I'll try to get to him as secretly as I can.
Be safe. In case this goes real wrong out here. I know I don't know you very well, but you should go see our dad. He would like that.
You see some wet, like on the vellum in front of you, like in front of Kaya. Just a couple, you know.
Don't worry, I didn't see anything.
You kind of, you know, like he kind of chuckles at that, and he starts, take care of yourself.
Yeah. You too, kid. And I'll disconnect.
Alrighty. Okay. So, Nanette.
Well, she's got about a dozen or so of her staff, probably waiting so patiently downstairs.
Well, yeah, at the convent or downstairs. Oh no,
Downstairs.
there's
They came. Yeah.
Yes, they're down there. Yes, they had come
We
with
were
you.
gonna assault some ships, and now the plan has changed. And she tells them that, like, the storm is worse than we expected. We do not have a lot of time. Those of you, I know some of you have families in the following districts. Get them out of there immediately. You could take them to the manor. It's empty. It should be relatively safe and at a high enough elevation to survive most of the storm. But I would prefer, if you can make it, get to the convent. Those that are available, here is money. Please acquire supplies from the following stores that should be open. Tell them that Investor P requires their assistance and pay them handsomely, more than they need, for whatever supplies you can get. We need medical supplies, primarily dry foodstuffs, non-perishables. Act fast. We have maybe an hour.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they nod and they'll take it and they start to spread out. Yeah, they'll start to go and spread out and start trying to buy those things.
Alright, and Nanette's probably gonna make her way back to the convent because if anything else, she can at least provide medical help.
All right. You start heading to the convent and run into Gianni coming back because we're going. He's coming back, and you are heading to the convent.
What are you doing?
Well, it is probably safer somewhere else than at the Brandstone. It's fine. I am trying to get as much supplies back to the convent as we can. It's probably one of the safer areas we can be in right now.
That's actually a very good idea. We're going to try something. It seems that this storm it uses a little bit of sorte. I know.
What? Who? What are you going to do?
So as I can move objects by pulling their fate lines, this storm for some reason or somehow has fate lines running through it. And so we're going to try and see if we can disrupt that.
Just you and your mother?
And any other of the sorte mages here.
This is
The
Montaigne. There are not
sisters.
many.
Oh, well, no. The sisters smuggle them out from, from Vadachi. Some of them end up here to go on to Avalon.
And I don't think it's common knowledge that I believe the current consort of the Emperor is Fate Witch. We know she's
Yeah,
Vadachi.
that's not.
Yeah.
But she's not.
But it's not. Yeah, you wouldn't know that. Yeah. She's been placed there by the sisters, but that's not anything any of y'all would know. Angelique might, but that's neither here nor there right now.
Well, Ace is attempting to reach Silent Death to get him to reconsider his course of action. I don't know if it will work or not, but the best we can do is prepare.
It saves lives. Anything's worth it at this point.
Is
Well-
there anything you need?
No, I just want to let you know what I'm doing. We're headed down to the docks.
That is going to take the
I know.
brunt of the storm.
I know. I just wanted somebody to know what I was doing. Good luck to you.
Stay safe, Gianni. I
We'll
will
meet at convent.
make sure to not wipe away your mark in case we need to find you.
Very well. And he runs for the docks.
Good luck.
Okay.
Except you!
Docs. Nanette going to the convent. All right, Michael. Andreas and Rosaline are near the palace now. all of that. So yeah, so what you see is there is definitely activity going on at the palace. Um, Musketeers, everywhere, and they are doing their best to try to shore up. You see bags of sand and all of this stuff, and they're trying to do the best they can, but they don't have a lot of time. They haven't gotten very far, um, in doing that.
Um,
So yeah.
what was the trouble you said about the Inquisition? And he's speaking Sarmatian because he knows she understands
Oh,
Sarmatian.
right. Yeah, she says I'm not sure. I know the emperor and the church have had their outs. I mean, the only thing I can suspect is maybe the Inquisition is trying something. I thought they had come to some sort of truce, but that might have been manipulation on the Inquisition's part.
As far as I know, the Inquisition was only. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say I was just gonna give you some kind of stuff that Andreas would know. So
Okay.
you know about the war that Barachi and or Castile and Montaigne were having a fight that involved the church, and the Montaigne was kind of excommunicated, except for like the main church that they had in Charuz, which is where Nanette was getting married. It was sort of like they were on the outs, but the church wanted to seem like they were magnanimous when they really weren't, and we're like, we'll allow you to have this church here, as a sign and hope you come back to the prophets and all this crap. And you would thought that maybe something might be, maybe they were both tired of the war and stuff like that, but apparently not. Rosaline tells you that the Inquisition had come into town for some business, and they had thought that they had been rumors. She says there had been talk among the Musketeers that maybe there was going to be some peace talks going on. But then something happened, and the Emperor got fearful for his life and blamed the Inquisition.
That doesn't. Were there any members of the inquisitorial staff, priests, bishops, anything, guards, in the palace on the palace grounds for these potential talks, or has it all been just the business?
I don't know. We heard very little. I assumed that he was going to meet with the bishop, or the cardinal, rather.
Yeah, that's probably not going to happen.
Yes, but then the church fell. Had quite an explosion, and there was this house that I mean, you were here when it happened, and had said you were. Did you told her you were involved in that?
I didn't go into the details, but I did mention something about that. But in Sarmatian, I'll say, yes, that was a fantastic shot by a friend of mine, but that's neither here nor there.
Says how paranoid the emperor is, and
Yes.
he assumed that these things were attacks on his character of some kind. That's the best that we know down at the headquarters of the Musketeers.
Well, that doesn't sound like the Inquisition hasn't been. We might be in the wrong place. Grab your coat. I think we need to go to the docks. I think we're in the wrong place.
She nods. She didn't look like she really wanted to get in the middle of all that anyway. So she's kind of easily agrees, and she's like, yes, okay. So yeah, she'll, she had her coat kind of, she says, let's just forego the coat. I don't think we have time.
Don't forget your blades.
She already has her. Yeah, she
good,
came
good,
running
good.
to you around her.
Okay.
Yeah. She managed to grab that. So you're gonna head to the docks then.
Yes, we will take off running towards the docks because if this is some kind of Inquisition thing, something to deal with the Inquisition, then they would be headed that. Then they would be coming up through the docks, or be something going on to the docks.
Okay, cool. All right, so we will go to Ace. And so after your talk, what are you going to do?
I remember, I believe, we'll say, even if it wasn't ever said in the game, that Andreas got me some shot and some powder.
Yes.
Did you get me an extra weapon or just the shot?
No, I wasn't. I didn't get you any more pistols.
Okay, that's fine. I make sure that I'm ready to up. I will look around. Not that it will help, but she doesn't know what else to do. She will look around to see if there are any other weapons in the house.
Okay. All right.
Does she find any? Does she find any weapons in the house?
Yeah, there's actually a stash. A couple, like a longer musket, a couple swords, and a couple. I mean, this is like they're kind of like if the Count is going to come into town, this is kind of where he comes. So he's got to have stuff. You know, he's not going to bring it through the in between, unlike some people who tear cards in the in between and.
So you said, I heard you say a musket. So there's a long musket. Is there? Did you say any? Did you say any?
Long musket, 2 pistols, 2 swords, a dagger, and ammo for the guns.
Okay, I'm assuming also that there's probably equipment like a baldric or something that I can throw on that has like pistol holsters in it.
Oh yeah. I mean, you'd have the
Cool.
For sure.
Yep. So I arm up with as many sidearms as I can. I will take the musket as well.
It's the montage of somebody strapping in their
it really
clothes
is. Yeah, and you know, her face is one of I don't know if Ace, if anybody has indicated to Ace yet, because I don't think Nanette ever said that she could also see the storm. So I don't know.
She didn't say that. Yeah.
Ace is just like, I'm going to do what I have to do in case.
You can definitely hear people outside shouting about it. Like once you're kind of done and then at least you can definitely hear people shouting. So Ace would be because she'd hear people shouting about it and trying to get inside.
Good. Yeah. Well, I have a sixth sense of satisfaction that other people are also as scared as I am. So I redo my braid and I tie it up into a bun and I blow the hair out of my face and I head out into the storm. Just in case somebody's in it. She doesn't get it. So.
Perfect. Okay. We'll go to Nanette now. You're going to the convent and you're going to help out. Well, it's much as what I described when Gianna, the sisters are, you know, they got their habits rolled up and they're trying to board everything up and all that when you get there.
My people are coming with some additional supplies, hopefully enough to tide us over.
One of the sisters is like, wonderful.
I hope you do not mind that we use this perhaps as a place of healing after everything settles down.
No, of course not. That's what we're here for.
Thank you. If I can assist in any way, let me know. Otherwise, I will try to take inventory of what we have and assist the other sisters with at least taking care of the wounded. And Nanette herself is like bandaged up, sitting at 2 dramatic wounds, looking a little bit like shit. So she's like, "Yeah, I'm good. Everything's fine."
They will take you up on your offer to inventory and check, what they have and all that, and then assist anyway. And as you're doing that, that's when the rain starts to fall. and you start to hear, like, you know, the thunder is real close now, and the lightning. But yeah, the rain starts to pour down every time you go outside to grab something or whatever.
This is going to be a long night.
The sister next to you says something in Castilian that you're not quite sure.
Netta is actually speaks Castilian.
does she?
That's one of her languages.
It's basically a prayer, you know. It's basically like, you know, prophets, you know, give us mercy, you know, that sort of thing.
And Nanette puts
So-
a bandaged hand on her shoulders, like, we will be all right together, and tries to be as supportive and comforting as possible, while screaming
the
on the
lady
inside.
with the well, the lady with the skin missing and the bandages is super comforting right now.
Look, it's the tone of voice that matters. It's going to be all right, says the leper. But Ned is also very much in her element in like accounting and organization, is just
Yeah.
where she can focus her awkward brain on. So that's what she's doing.
Excellent. Okay. So, yeah, Gianni, you are heading down to the docks. All right. So the closer you get, you know, down to the docks and where the storm is rolling in, you see more and more of those lines that are in the storm, and can definitely see that they are lifelines. And if you know, you suspect that if you could see, like, at the end of the storm, you would see the lines coming out of it as well.
This is unlike anything I've ever seen.
Yeah, it's big doing. It's big doing for sure. For sure.
I'm not that the web was.
So, how are you approaching the docks? Where are you planning? How are you planning? Are you just gonna kind of like walk, pretend you belong there? Are you trying to sneak down? Are you gonna go to the Inquisition ships? Are you gonna get a high place? What is Gianni's when he gets down there?
It's Gianni. He's oblivious. He's just running down the docks. He's not slowing down or anything. At this point, he figures everybody's trying to get out of the way anyway with this storm coming. So
Yeah.
yeah, he just runs up to the I guess the wharf where the docks extend from, and is looking around. So trying to get a better idea of what is happening.
Okay. So you see the Inquisition ships. I mean, they're, you know, as you saw them before, the people on there are, you know, running around trying to strap down, trying to take down sails, trying to do the best they can before this thing sweeps in. And you see Jimenez up there, like before, she's shouting orders to, like, batten things down, all of that sort of stuff. And you see other ships that are not Inquisition ones pretty much doing the same thing. So it's pretty much structured chaos as all of these boats are trying to, you know, get as set as they can before this thing blows in. And while you're, you know, when you get down there and you've been looking around a little bit, it does in fact start to rain, and the wind starts to pick up a bit as you're standing there. And you see on the docks that the waves are starting to, you know, come in and start moving the ships a bit as well.
Idiots. I'm actually going to be Gianni.
Okay. We
And
expect nothing less.
I yell out for Jimenez.
Okay.
I'm like,
All right.
Jimenez!
And right when you do that, a thunder crash happens. Like, it's like Jimenez, and then it's like the weather's helping. Drama. And you see Jimenez like come over to the like side of the ship to look in your direction, and she's looking down at you from the Fortuna.
We need to talk.
She let's see, how would she handle this? We need to yeah, she'll shout down and she'll say, "Do you not see I'm a little busy?"
Look, Jimenez, we are not so different. And I'm going to spend a hero point for my ability, We Are Not So Different.
Uh-huh.
So I can have the villain all of a sudden think I'm on their side.
All right. All right.
Until it's for the
Until
scene.
I
Until-
act against her.
Yeah, until
Yeah.
he
Attack.
either refuses to do something villainous or helps a friend.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's
Yeah.
until the end of the scene.
Yeah, so she looks down at you and she's like, considers for a second, and she says, "Fine." And she turns and you see her, and she's gonna start coming down the gangplank to talk to you. On the
Your
dock.
people are the target of this storm.
She kind of just looks at you like, "What are you talking about? Like, what are you on?"
I'm requesting that you leave.
What was that?
Your ships are going to be destroyed. Go.
Well,
It's
You know,
Sabbath death. He has the ability to do this. He's targeting you. Go.
you want us to... She's like really baffled right now, like about, you know, she's trying to you know, you can definitely see it's like gears turning in her mind, trying to process all this that you're saying. And why would you want to help us?
I said I'm not so different from you. Amongst your numbers are fathers, brothers, mothers, sisters. Whatever beef you have had with us in the past,
Last one.
it's not imperative. You know, it's not imperative. It's not important.
Just a little attempted murder, like,
Oh,
just a
come on,
little.
like that is Wednesday for you.
She looks at you, she looks at the storm. She
If
looks
you
at
stay
you.
on the docks, those ships are going to end up on the wharf. They're going to get broken in half, and all of you are going to end up in the bottom of this lake. You will be ripped apart, as if those are the giant teeth of some monster. Run!
She heaves a big sigh and turns around to go running to the ship, and she starts giving orders for them to like raise anchor, stop what they're doing, raise anchor, and try to get out to the sea.
No.
Right.
Run. Feet.
Oh, I
It's
get it. Okay, never mind. That was Danny's
You.
fault.
Yeah.
That was Danny's fault. I didn't get what you were trying to say. Okay.
I was hoping you
All
were
right.
telling them to sail away too. Take the storm with you.
Honestly,
they better
sailing
the
away
ships.
sounds perfect. Will they
Yeah.
be able to in this storm?
Not our problem.
Not our problem.
Take them
Yeah.
over after they crash in the sea.
Eh. Technically, it was the storm that killed them. Technically. Okay, yeah, sure. So she's yeah, so she'll get it, and she'll start getting her people like to kind of abandon what they're doing. And you know, she tells them to grab as much as they can, you know, of important things. And, you know, they start doing that. Start grabbing things in preparation to run and move and shelter.
Don't waste your time. Personally, if I were you, go to the damn cathedral. It's stone.
Yeah.
It's missing a
Well,
door.
yeah,
but, you know.
Yeah, they're gonna move as quickly as they can. So you see people just, they grab something and then start, leaving and running down the street. She starts ordering them to go to the church. She'll take your advice and send them to the church. Yeah.
It's my nefarious.
So,
That is sweet for my mother.
yeah, cool. All right. So Michael, all
Yes.
right. So you are running towards the docks.
Yes.
All right. Go ahead and do.
You see a bunch of Inquisition people running away from it.
Well, he's got to notice them first. He's got to notice them first. Let me give him his roll. Gotta notice him first. Yeah, wits and notice.
I don't know, a bunch of red leathered like Inquisition blokes just running down the street in a wild panic. Oh, that's gonna be like 5 notice.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Yeah.
I rolled crappy.
I'll need like 2 probably.
Surely you got 2 in there, right?
I rolled 7 dice. I got 2 and 3 left over.
Jeez.
Okay.
Yeah, no,
All right.
I told you I rolled hot garbage.
Right. But I mean that's enough. I mean you're running, and just as you're about to like turn down a street, you turn and you see definite Inquisition soldiers running towards you, and you recognize Jimenez among them.
Grab. Oh, do you want to buy any of these dice before
I don't think you want me to do that. No, you can. That's okay. I'm not buying them.
All right.
Man, he's too strong. Don't even tempt him, Michael.
He wants the hero points.
I do.
Yeah, he wants the hero points.
I grab Rosaline's like the back of her shirt or arm or something like that, and immediately duck into an alley under an awning. And I go, play along, and I wrap her in my arms and kiss her underneath the awning.
Sleep done.
Classic.
Who's playing?
Classic. Classic.
We're flag actually, so I mean, it's not the first time we've done this. So.
Yeah. Let's see.
Season 2,
Let's,
someone finally got a kiss in.
Hey,
yeah.
hey. Okay, yeah, season 2. I was gonna say season 1. There was
She's like,
Technically, this is my second kiss. I kissed her on my way out of the episode.
yeah. Grace has been getting all the.
Ace has gone celibate, guys. Sorry, too many kisses.
She saw plenty of action in season 1. Come on,
She
save some for the rest of us.
Yeah, you know.
Apparently.
They run by you. Actually, as that's going on, they run by you. Don't seem to see you as they run by, as you are kissing Rosaline.
Andreas like glances back to see where they're headed. What direction does it look like they're headed in?
Looks like they're headed towards the church.
Oh, that's not the palace.
No, they're not going in the proper direction for the palace.
Andreas is like, I don't think those are the ones we have to. We should continue to head towards the docks.
She's kind of staring at you a little like, yeah, okay. And she'll like
The one out
start-
front, I dueled last night. That's those wounds you saw earlier. Yeah, that's who caused them. So that's why I wanted to do that.
And here I thought
What
you
a
just
mood
liked
killer.
me.
I mean, I do like you. That has never been a question.
Okay, well we can discuss your fear of commitment later. We need to go to the docks. And she'll start like walking.
Excuse me. We both have dreams that we are, and just that conversation is.
It's raining. It's definitely raining and all that by this point, and the thunder's going.
Our conversation is drowned out by the thunder and just pouring down rain right after the excuse me, and we both have had dreams.
She kind of just gives you a yeah look or whatever, and continues on, heading towards the docks, booking it. All right, cool. Alrighty, so, Ace, where are you? Are you headed anywhere specific?
I was gonna go down to the docks and do some shit, but Gianni is taking care of it, so I'm still gonna go to the docks though, because I don't know that.
Well, you see Gianni, and you see, you see Gianni.
I was gonna
Nothing
say,
to do with it.
what the hell are you doing there? What are you doing here?
What are you doing here?
What I always do. What the fuck are you doing here?
You definitely note there's nobody on those Inquisition ships.
What did you do?
Well, I scared them all away,
Why?
so that we can steal a boat in the moment.
These boats are gonna be on the wharf once this storm gets here. These boats are not going to be useful to us.
We're hoping that we can cancel the storm.
Well, why aren't you doing that then?
I am waiting for somebody to tell me how.
Well, I didn't say, but Ace did grab some of the knives and swords and stuff too. Whatever she could fit on her and move. Still. She gives blades to Gianni. I don't care. Take it. If we're gonna steal a ship, we need to disable the other two.
Okay.
So you take one, I'll take the other.
Oh, okay.
And she takes off the guns and the powder, and she puts them in a dry barrel, and she covers them. And she takes her fancy schmancy dagger, and she dives into the water.
Okay. So you're gonna go use your knife that Kiara gave you?
I am.
All right. Cool. Cool. All right. So Gianni, what are you gonna do? You see Ace dive into she's going in the water.
Well, if my mother is not there yet, I
Not
will...
yet. She should be here soon.
I am going to cut the mooring line on the other ship. Cut those mooring lines, hop on board, pull up the anchor, and hopefully with a storm coming in, the tide is going out. Hopefully, the storm is pulling all the water back out.
I hope it's not too low. That's Ace.
He just walks around on the ground.
Ace just face plants in the silt. Thanks. She stands up and goes, "This is you again. I have a feeling. Thanks, Gianni." When in fact, if I splash in the water, I'm going to come back up and I'm going to go, "Gianni, when you work on the other ship, it wasn't the one like the Mistress or some shit. What was it? What are the ships' names?
The Marquesa, the Fortuna, and the Capitana.
Marquesa. That's what I was thinking of. I'm going to deal with the Capitana. I'm going to deal with the Marquesa. That sounds more my type. You go get the Capitana. Search the cabin before if you sink it, search the cabin. But you should just do what we did the last time. Go flip up into the rigging and disable it.
I was going to let this storm drag it out.
That's fine, and then I go into the water. I don't listen to anything he says.
Ace is not going to count on this storm. She is making sure the ship is going down no matter what.
Yeah, and I'm literally going to go down and stab my knife into the side of a ship, and then I'm just going to swim along, and I'm going to key that bitch all the way down, and then I'm going to go around the side of it and the back, and I'm going to come back up the other side, and I'm going to put a good score all the way around the bottom of the ship.
Yeah, that knife, you get down there and you're like, and you just, it's just like nothing almost. It's like, cardboard today, or just, it's so easy. Just
nice.
Just to jam it in there and like pull it. Yeah.
BTS is singing behind me as I do this.
Yes. Yeah, so and you start to see the like rush of water and the movement as it starts to like get into the ship and all that.
Yeah. And so once I do that, I'm gonna I am going to just swim past the Fortuna, and I'm gonna go on to the one that Gianni's supposed to be working on, and I'm gonna go stab some holes in it too, because I have some aggression to get out. If any of these are carved, I know that the Fortuna had like carvings all on the side of the hole.
All of them do.
I'm going to carve massive breasts and dicks on whatever I can carve on the side of that. It's just how she feels right now. And then she's gonna climb out of the water, put her guns back on, and go on to one of them and start rooting around in the captain's cabin.
Sweet. All right, I'll leave you doing that. While that's Gianni, what are you doing to help out?
Well, I cut the mooring lines,
or whatever.
Get up on board of the ship, raise the anchor, at least something, and then hop off the ship as I probably watch it starting to list. And I'm like, I didn't expect that. And then waiting for everybody who's coming out here.
Yeah, okay.
Nobody was
cool.
Coming.
All right. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna leave y'all doing that because I want to go ahead and get to Nanette. So you're helping out. You're doing inventory, and you are doing all of that stuff and moving around. And as you are, you hear screaming, telltale screaming. This will be brief, I promise.
Visceral reaction immediately.
Yeah. Do you look around, or are you just like cowering? Or
he's gonna pull the rapier that she's been kind of carrying around for a while, ineffectively, but also look around. Maybe it's Tomas. Hopefully it's Tomas, or maybe it's a friend of the sister.
As a matter of fact, out from the portal, Tomas strides through. Charles kind of tumbles out of the portal.
Tomas! You walked someone else! I'm so proud of you.
Nanette, what the hell happened to you?
Okay, this is a very long story, but we got some revenge for you, and our parents are safe, and the staff is mostly safe.
He starts looking around, like,
and I don't know if you want to be here, though. We're about to get hit by a storm.
Charles insisted, and he said, he pulls Charles up from the... Charles is, like, still trying to, like, I have never really done that before, and that is
he
a lot.
Well, Nanette pulls Charles into a hug, too. She's like, I'm so glad you're doing well.
Yeah, Charles finally Tomas helps him up with like a kind of a funny smile on his face, and Charles finally gets a hold of himself, and he says, I had to come. I had to warn you. And that was really quite something. Anyway, I was looking in the books that I managed to get, the ones that I have, and everything that I could find, and Captain O'Connell helped me a little bit along the way. But I found out, I think I might know what Silent Death plans to do.
With the Carnival, or here, or...
I think I know what he needs to do with the Carnival.
Oh. That is...
Many years ago when the Carnival...
No, go ahead.
He says many years ago when the Carnival was lost at sea, there were rumors that a Fate Witch was on board. Now, from what we've been able to determine of the bracers so far, with Captain O'Connell's help, it seems like it is based off the magic that Sorte use.
Oh,
we think
we have so much to tell you. But please continue.
We think that he means to bring up the Carnival using the bracers from the bottom of the ocean. He doesn't want to just dive down there. There has to be something else on there for him to bring it up, or maybe something with the ship itself. We couldn't determine, but we think that he wants to bring it back from the bottom of the ocean.
That is... Well, we assumed he wanted it, but we don't know what for. Is there anything else you can tell us?
Only that it's quite possible. We're not sure. This is why I'm saying we're not sure what it could be. But since there are more artifacts on board, there could be something having to do with Sorte on there. That's our best theory so far.
Well, we have on good authority to assume that Monsieur Silent Death is in fact a Sorte witch.
Really? He all of a sudden stops being like kind of freaked out and starts to turn into like a, you know, like a little fascinated. Charles is like, really?
Also, there is a huge storm coming here. Thomas, how many can you walk? I know you're still learning, but those that are terribly wounded should probably not be here. You need to get as many out as you can.
Oh, I didn't mention this to Captain O'Connell. Thomas looks around at what's happening. I mean, I mean, she seems nice enough, but I mean, that's where... Or I could bring them to Mom and Dad. They're on that island, right?
Yes, they should be with the Count. But there's a lot of people here. And some of them came out of the place between places. Recently.
Nini, what did you do?
This is... Okay, I'm sorry, I'm in the middle of preparing for a very terrible hurricane. So I will have to tell you this at a later time. But we may not have done the best things, and the place between places is very mad. So... Good luck. If you can't walk any more people out of here, then I need your strong hands with some of the preparations. We need to finish boarding up windows.
Charles and Thomas look at each other like, and Thomas is like, she's bullshitted about these things. I don't know what to tell you. Thomas says to Charles, yeah, so he'll say, I don't think I can walk, Nini.
That is honestly probably for the best. Rest a little bit, then come help me with the hammering.
Okay. Charles is sitting down and writing in his book that he had brought with that he insisted on. He's got to write notes. He's learned some things, so he's got to write notes. So that's what he's doing. Where Thomas actually sits down. Like Charles has sat down, like just kind of like against a wall to start writing. He's kind of absorbed. And Thomas kind of nods at you when you tell him to like rest and then come help. And you watch him kind of walk over and sit next to Charles and then like put his head on Charles's shoulder. But like Charles doesn't even seem to notice. He's just like still writing in his book.
The others are safe as well. They are at the docks currently, trying to help. I'm assuming, but yes, they are all there.
Did you know we were going there? Oh, you checked on us. I see.
Yeah.
I always know where you are.
I always know where you are.
Until I lose my marks again.
Well, truly always know where Andreas is. You only know where items that they are carrying are. They can always leave us behind.
But I marked the
Alrighty.
precious things, so hopefully... Although Ace doesn't have a good track record with their guns, so...
Andreas is precious.
Aww.
Because I got arrested to save him.
Just in case you forgot.
In case that got lost somewhere along the way. So
I never forget.
First time and the last time, Nanette. First time and the last time. Okay.
Ace pulls that gun with the mark off and just throws it out into the ocean.
Oh no.
She's somewhere very cold and
Deep.
dark.
I don't.
She's where she loves best, in the ocean.
See. All right. Okay. Andreas. We're gonna go to Andreas. So Nanette's continuing to help. Your brother is resting, and Charles is writing for right now. We're gonna go to Andreas. So you and Rosaline managed to make it to the docks, and it is raining even more now. It's really coming down now. You are soaked by this point. It is, yeah. And the thunder is very on top right now. On top of the, it's very, very close and very, very loud.
Do I see my two companions?
Go ahead and do. You probably might see Gianni, maybe.
I mean, that's good enough for me to head in that direction.
Yeah. Gianni, what would you be doing in particular?
Walking around, literally waiting for my mom and everyone.
Yeah, well, you see Andreas with a woman you have not met before.
Okay. I seem to be finding everybody but the I'm looking for.
Gianni, this is Rosaline. Rosaline, this is Gianni. I grew up and trained with Rosaline. She's Musketeer trainee. She's the one I was going to talk to.
Well, it's nice to meet you. So what brings you to the dock?
We thought possibly there was something going on with the Inquisition. We'd heard there were rumors of the Inquisition potentially doing stuff to harm the Emperor.
Oh, yes. Terrible.
Wait, were those you?
I don't know what you're talking about. And no, that was not me.
Oh,
That was not me.
okay.
I only started rumors about Nanette.
Oh,
And the
yeah.
press gangs.
And the press games.
And press gangs. Yeah.
But I'm
Okay.
going to try and stop the storm.
Yeah, this is insane.
This is not me.
I didn't think it
Silent.
was. We know who it is. It's Silent Death.
Okay. So you're
None
up
of
to
you
date.
know that. You
You
know
weren't
that.
there.
None of you believed me. You don't know that it's silent death.
No,
that
I
was
believed you.
determined later.
It's a big magical storm that rolled up
Big
out of nowhere. We only know
It
one
just-
person
it
that
just-
can do
it
that.
It just makes me laugh
was
that they're
in the
both
room
like,
when you
we
were
know
talking to your
this. And I'm
brother.
like, no, you don't.
I was in the room when you were talking to your brother.
Not this. Oh, were you?
Yes.
Oh, did you believe me?
Yes.
Oh, were you the only one
Remember,
who
I was the
believed
one telling you, hey, I see crazy stuff all the time, and people. I understand.
Okay,
This is probably magic.
okay. You don't have to yell at me right now. I don't know who's yelling at me, Gianni or John, but they can both stop.
All right, well, let's continue. Okay, so now you three
I hold
and
the mute button.
Rosaline are at the docks, and there don't seem to be any inquisition on these ships. You do notice that the ships are now a little bit lower down in the water than they might have been, though. So there's definitely that's happening. You see the other ships around. You see them start to like go off. They've already gotten their ships like as put together as they can, and they're trying to get undercover themselves when they see this coming in. You can tell, especially Ace, who's been on many ships, and probably Andreas, that they surely didn't get a chance to do like everything that they probably should have done. These other ships for the storm, but they did as much as they could before they got to run off and take cover themselves. So they definitely didn't have a lot of time to do stuff, but they did what they could before they have to start booking it as well. Like, well, we did the best we could, let's go.
Andreas looks at the other two because he's assuming unless Rosaline pulls something out of a hat, he
Like
goes,
a rabbit?
like a rabbit, so magical basically. Do you know of any way do we know how to stop this, or are we just having to weather it?
You asking me this?
Just shouting it out there.
Okay. We have a chance, but it might mean the weathering. You're a musketeer trainee. This might be very foreign to me. With all this going on with the Inquisition, would the musketeers like to know where they are? To hold them for questioning.
Rosaline is like, well, I'm sure they would be interested. Of course.
They're at the chapel. I give the specific location.
the church.
Yes.
They're at the church?
Yeah, say they want to go weather the storm there.
They went to go pray.
Why would they go do that?
Because... Andres, how much can I say?
My friend is very persuasive.
Let's just say that I told them that this storm is coming for them.
Okay. I don't think that's the weirdest thing I've heard today, considering the things I've heard today.
Okay, good. All right.
All right. Well, thank you for that information. It looks over at Andreas and do you think, should I go and tell them, or should I stay here and help you with that?
I think, go tell them. That would, that'll look good on your, for you getting in.
Right.
Very forward thinking.
Are you going to be okay?
I'll be fine. This is surprisingly not the worst situation I've been in this week.
You'll have to tell me about that later, after our talk. And she turns around and starts running off into the... Yeah?
There are roughly a couple hundred of them there. Please do not try to do this on your own.
She like waves. She hears you.
Okay, good.
Yeah, okay. So, you three are here now, and
No, to the other two. When Rosaline's out of earshot, I think I got proposed to.
Well,
or at least told I possibly need to pop the question.
Now you see, that's how you do it.
Then well, I think our party's full at 4. So, no, she can't come with us. It's too many people. But she's pretty, you should marry her. If you're into that. And I go back to looking through the cabins of things.
Yeah, okay. So you're going to look through the cabins. You find some stuff that you could probably sell, some more weapons and things like that. But you don't particularly find anything that looks like, it has good information in it or anything like that. It's pretty ostentatious. Like it's not very practical or secrety, but I mean, there's things like, velvet robes and stuff like that on the Fortuna, that you find, and a lot's plenty of like, really, gilded things and stuff like that, to pick up if you wanted to.
I'll make a mental note of what's here. Take anything that looks mildly important or worth something, though I don't see why we need it, and then I will move to the Fortuna.
Okay, cool. All right. So on the Fortuna, so are you two helping her with this, or what are you two doing while Ace is kind of looking through the cabins and everything?
Gianni's
You're
waiting for his
your
mom.
Andreas, what are you doing?
I'm waiting with Gianni because
Okay.
I don't know.
Don't worry, lads. I have this.
Andres,
Yes.
I hate doing this to you, but you might want to go tell Ninette we're going to try and stop the storm, and we're going to try and steal the ship.
Didn't you tell her that already?
Well, yes, but the stealing the ship thing is I kind of on the
I'm not there.
improv. I just came up with it.
Mm-hmm.
So if the storm stops, we're stealing the ship. Get the people to the ship as soon as possible.
I honestly think I can help out more here.
Oh, okay.
All right.
I'm going to.
So
I'll help Ace check around then.
Okay, if we're searching,
Okay.
I'll help with searching the ship if that's what we're doing while we're waiting.
Yeah, go ahead and we'll do this real quick, and then we will move on. So, Wits and Notice for all of you. I'm gonna say you'll need maybe 3 for this. 3 successes. It's not too much. I mean, the Cardinal's clever, but he's not that clever. So, 3. I have 5 million, says Ace. I have 5 million to notice things.
It's gonna be reasonable. It's gonna be like 11. Come on.
I have 6. No leftover.
Oh, okay. So, all right.
Only 1 left over.
So Gianni and Andreas, I mean, you find what I basically have described to Ace. You find, gilded things, golden things, Gianni, you find like the Cardinal's jewelry box that he has all sorts of, nice rings with stones on them and things like that. Picture if any of you ever saw like Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves with Kevin Costner, where they jump in on the bishop, and he's all this stuff. It's that sort of stuff, It's just really ostentatious, gold stuff and things and whatnot. Ace, you are looking around, and you find a copy of the prophet's letters. It's a thing that have that from the church that they use on occasion. It's almost like it's not like a Bible, but it's more like a philosophical kind of book.
Sure.
But
Sure.
you pick it up and it feels odd, and you notice when you look at it that it kind of is not quite correct. I mean, your kind of sharp eyes kind of see that it's like, there's something odd about it. So you start fiddling around with it a little more, and you see that there's something underneath in the lining of the books, in the lining of the book. So Seem to cut it out.
Carefully. Yeah, I
Yeah.
extract it very carefully. Not
it's
with the scary dagger. I use a regular blade.
Yeah, it's a letter that appears to be written by the cardinal. It's not signed or anything like that, but like you kind of suspect since it was here, it was either from him or to him.
Sure.
And looking around, it's easy to see the writing is very similar
Compare.
to other stuff you have on the desk.
One brief question I have about the handwriting is, does it strike me as familiar to match the letter that was in the cross that Gianni had?
Very much so.
Okay.
Very much so. And what you get from the letter, reading it, in essence, it's got a lot of flowery language like church people like to do, and you're kind of like, just get to the freaking point, okay? You know,
Brother.
yeah. But the essence of the letter is that it seems to be to someone in Vodacce that you can gather. And that this person in Vodacce is promising to help stop the war between Castile and the church, is trying to help start that out and trying to help bring it to the church on the winning side. They're sort of offering help. Switch that around. That's what you gather. You gather that someone in Vodacce has offered to help the church and this war in their favor. And the bishop is replying to that request and accepting that offer of help. And you do get the sense that it has something to do with Cyrnus artifact. They're planning to gather a Cyrnus artifact that will help them, that the Vodacce is promising will help end the war for the church.
Make sure
In the
Cypher
church's
gets
favor.
the bracer.
Yeah, they don't mention it in the letter. They're still kind of being cagey.
Ace just mutters that. Ace mutters that as she reads it.
Right.
Okay.
And that's what that is.
All right. Is that all I really find in here?
Yep.
I'm not
Other
too
than
worried about
gold
taking-
and stuff like that.
Sure. I'm not going to take anything out of this one because this is the ship that I indeed hope to steal. I'm going to take my gun and I'm going to find a place where I don't think it will be discovered, and I'm going to leave it there.
Awesome. Perfect.
And
All right,
then
so-
I'm going to lay in a bunk and wait for the storm.
All right. Gianni. So you had been helping look, but as you're kind of walking around looking, you see, because you're keeping an eye out for your mother, I assume. So after you've been doing that for a few minutes, and just about, she's actually like a little bit late to the half an hour that she had said, but you see her coming with three other sisters, and kind of coming down towards the docks.
Okay. I run out to meet her.
Mm-hmm.
All right. What's the plan?
Your mother says we have to be very careful. Each of those threads are attached to someone's life force. So what we have to do is we have to, as gently as possible, disassociate that line, that thread from this storm. So as not to harm the person on the other end.
Okay.
It's sort of like a plucking you would do to change someone's fortune, but a little bit more complicated.
I'm prepared to do my part.
Okay. All right, so your mother starts leading you all out onto one of the docks. And now Andreas and Nanette and everybody and Ace and everybody who's in the storm has now reached full force, hitting the shore, and so as you know, they walk out there, you know, you're you know, Gianni, I assume you're following your mother and her fellow sorte, the other sorte. Yeah, so you get out there and the waves are kind of you know, moving you on the dock, and your mother reaches out for your hand, um, you know, to hold it, and she says, remember your training, Gianni, and we will take a break there before the storm hits. Well, it hits, but before we deal with that fact. So we'll take a 10-minute break.
All right.
It's time for drinks.
Yes. Welcome aboard, everybody. Welcome back. Where a storm has just hit Charus, and our heroes are trying to deal with it. Turns out that it is a bracer manifested storm using sorte magic. Yeah, that's a lot of history back
with
there.
people
so.
batteries. For the record, with people batteries.
People
Yeah.
batteries.
Yeah, that's. So it feels like it's Cernith Artifact combined with sorte magic. Ooh.
Yeah. Nobody knew a lot. I mean, what Charles had told you was nobody knew a lot about the Tempest, and he's been trying to find out. But there are all these wacky stories about stuff that the Tempest did and how he was able to do it. No one could really figure it out. So, you know, it might shed a little light on how some of that worked. But anyway, here we are. We have Ace and Andreas. They're on the docks and Gianni about to prepare to do.
I'm not on the docks. I just wanted to say.
Oh, you're on the ship.
I did not get off the ship.
Sure. Okay. No, that's cool. I just meant like in general. Like
Okay.
I was just trying because I was gonna move to Nanette. I was gonna move to Nanette, but I just wanted to sum up where you guys were. So Gianni's getting ready at the end to do you know, the whole thing that you're going to try to separate the storm from these life forces, and Ace and Andreas are there, which is basically what I was just trying to indicate. They are there, either on the ship or on the dock. And it's okay. You didn't know what I was thinking. It's cool. So we're going to go to Nanette. Now, you are at the convent. And all of that.
Delegating.
And
yeah.
Delegating. You
She's trying to maintain a positive attitude. Like, yeah, it seems pretty awful, and I'll probably go ahead and activate my virtue, the comforting virtue, that if anybody is scared or, you know, if it's affecting their productivity, really just to give them a pep talk and how Montaigne has survived worse. Like, Charus is strong, Charus' people are strong. We are stronger together. And we'll make it through this. Viva la Montaigne! No storm will wash away our spirits. No wind shall blow over our determination.
You start singing that French song like in Casablanca and just, you know, start getting everybody to go into it. No, I mean, everybody seems really, you know, they do feel like comforted. You do, if you check on your marks, you can tell that they are, because you're so close to where they are, you can tell that they are out by the docks. Like all your three of your friends. And, you know, your brother is obviously with you, your parents, you know, they're in the direction they should be, and all of that. So, what your friends are doing on the dock, you don't know, but, that's where they are.
Hopefully they're doing good things and helping people. But right now this is where Nanette probably feels that she can do the most at.
Okay, cool. So, let's go ahead and see. Let's have you do, So are you gonna spend most of your time like inventorying or like comforting people or a combo of both?
Likely a combo of both. There's only so much inventory that can be done with everything moving around as quickly as possible. And keeping morale up is vital to success.
Right.
And other
So let's
managerial buzzwords.
Yeah. I'd like to circle back to this a little bit later when there's not a storm going on, but yeah.
Let's get
Okay,
those
so let's
BI numbers.
Yeah, let's try and figure out how well the convent can get prepared for all of this stuff and how much morale these people have to kind of brace for the incoming. So let's do a resolve and let's see. Perform resolve and I'd
What
say
about empathy?
perform.
Okay.
Empathy or perform, whichever is better. For
I
you.
like empathy. Nanette's not a showbutter. She's trying to appeal to their kind of strong sense of duty and camaraderie.
Okay. Go ahead and roll. And we will say you're gonna need at least So yeah, let's say we're gonna go ahead and do 4 successes to make sure that you're as prepared as you can possibly be. If you don't make 4 successes, that's just going to mean that the church will, the convent's going to be more worse for wear than it would have been.
It is exactly 4 successes with no dice left over.
All right. Okay, cool. Yeah, so you feel like you are, in the time that you have with what y'all have, that you are as prepared as you're gonna be for this thing to hit. So when it hits, when the storm is finally hit, it's gonna sweep up. And then when we come back, y'all will have to deal with the effects of the storm actually hitting the convent. So we will come back to that as we start going ahead and go back to the docks. So I want to start with Andreas and Ace first on what they are doing. And then we will go to Gianni dealing with this Sorte Bracer magic. What are Andreas and Ace doing?
Please.
Ace thinks that Gianni's full of shit, and she's just gonna stay on the ship and weather the storm. I'm just gonna stay in my bunk. You can't shoot a cloud.
You
can,
cannot.
it's a waste. It's a waste of shots. So yeah, she's literally not doing anything but sleeping on the ship.
Okay. All right, Andreas, what are you doing?
Andreas is on the docks with with Gianni and his mother and the sisters, just kind of watching and waiting and seeing what happens, preparing himself, knowing that if this goes way too far south, he probably is going to have to make a big decision.
Okay. Alrighty then. Alright, so Gianni. So this is going to be an extended thing that you're going to be doing. Because it's going to take you time. You can't just you got to take each one of these threads. And you have to, pull them apart. From the storm. So that it won't hurt everything else. It's delicate work. We are going to say I should have gotten this with just give me 1 second. But it's going to be a number of successes you're going to be building up to, essentially.
All right.
So if you want to activate anything before this, feel free to go ahead and do so. We will definitely give you a chance to do that.
Not really. I'm gonna be holding off on my hero points, mainly because that's what's used to fuel, you know, plucking and moving and pulling with fate strings. And I have quite a lot saved up.
Okay, cool.
And chat's been generous. Thank you very much.
Nice. All right, let's find. All right. So you're gonna use your raises, and basically you will just be racking up successes during this time span, and the you know, your mom and the other three are going to be assisting as well. So we're gonna say to get rid of most of this storm, and this is gonna sound like a lot, but we're doing it over an extended period of time. So for each success you get, you can get rid of one of those threads, but there are at least 50 of them that you're gonna have to do. So this is going to be extended, but they're going to be helping you too and giving you successes as well. Okay?
All right.
Right. So we're going to be doing sorte. And what sort of so we're going to be using your sorte skill and anything you want to use for that. Thinking about how Gianni would approach this as your mom kind of explains what you have to do and kind of starts to show you, like, what do you think this would be more of a finesse thing for Gianni, more of a resolve thing? He's trying to do this very delicately, or he's trying to like just be determined? Like, what sort of attitude are you taking here?
It's a hard call because it's either going to be Wits trying to figure out how to unravel it all, or Panache just because it's style.
All right. Which is better for you? Either?
Panache.
Or are they the same? Panache?
Panache.
Do it with style then, I'd say. Go ahead. Go for it.
All right. So
go ahead and make your first roll.
With sorcery?
Yeah. Plus your sorcery.
Ooh, I like that.
All right, so count up how many tens.
All right. So starting off my roll, that is 3 tens starting, and then an additional 2 successes. That's 5 total on that first roll.
5, and they got 3, so that's a total. You have 8 right now. So you've managed to pull apart 8 of these threads. So what this means is that Sundeath is basically pulling from like 50 different people to kind of connect and use their life force on this storm. Okay. All right. So while that is going on, y'all are, Andreas is on the dock, right? Where did Andreas settle, I guess is what I want to say.
Probably with his back to the sea, just looking at it, like in the in-between, because I'm assuming they're probably on like this, like the actual stone part of the docks. So Andreas is probably just off of the wharf, like the wharf itself, watching them, his eyes towards the city, seeing this destruction happening before him.
All right. So yeah, I mean the storm is fully on hit. It's hard to, I mean it's starting to really be a problem. It's starting to get really, you're so soaked to the bone. It doesn't even matter anymore. Like you're that soaked through. Like it doesn't even, like there's not a stitch of your clothing that is not soaked, really, at this point. And from one of the roads, you see Jimenez running, and she has what you would guess maybe 5 or 6 brute squads with her. And when they finally come out of the thing, there's 6 of them. So 6 groups of 6. And Jimenez is going, Thunder is going, and Jimenez is going to catch sight of you, and she's just going to give like a guttural growl, and her and those brute squads are going to start rushing over to where you are.
They charging the sisters. And
towards
Gianni.
them, yeah, towards you, yes.
And
Well,
you
I
said-
mean, towards you don't know if that's their goal, but it's like all in the same. She saw you first, so a sense of heading towards yourself.
Andreas is going to yell as loudly as he can to Ace, we need you up here. We've got company and they are not friendly. I'm counting on those very, very keen senses to catch that.
Yeah. No, yes. And then she hops out of the bunk and she tightens her belts and all that, and there is a very cinematic hat donning scene where she puts her hat on and she runs her hand along the brim and she pulls 2 pistols and she walks out onto the deck of the Fortuna.
Okay.
During this, Andreas, realizing this coat is just going to weigh him down, the Avalonian style red coat, he just pulls that off. He's like, this is going to suck. And he immediately goes, he just looking at the sheer numbers coming out plus Jimenez.
That would be 36 plus Jimenez. But keep in mind, everybody, before the chat flips out, this is 7C. Like, taking out a brute squad is not that big of a deal. Honestly. That's the point. It's swashbuckling. You're supposed to take on a mass of people.
Ace, you think we got this?
You yelling at me? Because you're not on the deck of the boat, right?
Yeah, I'm actually at the wharf.
I take aim with that long-barreled musket, and I say we're gonna do our damn best.
All right, excellent. That's a good dramatic place to switch. Ace staring down the barrel at all these people. So now Nanette. So okay. So the storm has fully hit, and everybody is inside as far in as they can. Y'all have set up kind of like a place for everybody to settle, to wait out the storm, that they feel like this is going to be the safest place. And what has happened is, in all the organizing, the sisters have kind of determined kind of like a patrol. Like every few minutes, somebody different takes a walk around just to make sure, there's nothing that needs to be taken care of. You know what I mean? Like nobody's got lost, they didn't miss anybody, windows aren't blasting in, whatever. Just to check and see how the storm is progressing. But one of these times, one of the sisters comes in and says, the library is starting to flood. The windows have busted open. And so Charles immediately starts, having heart palpitations, like if you're close by, like, and he starts slowly, like, starting to go to try to save the books. He's like headed out the door to try to go, and he's like, he stops when he gets to the door, and he realizes he does not know where the library is. So he turns around and goes, I don't know where the library is. Somebody give me to the library. And Tomas just sighs.
Do what you can, save what you can, but please be careful. I'm assuming, is it still safe enough at the library?
Yeah, I mean, the storm is coming in through windows, so, you know, as long as you don't get too close and debris doesn't come flying through or anything like that, you know? I mean, it's not safe, but, you know, it's inside, it could be worse. You know?
Nanette offers to go with them to help, and also some of the burlier, maybe like stable lads.
Yeah.
Some of the stable men with stable jobs, if they could just help us out here. With their stronger muscles that aren't, you know, bleeding all over the floor.
Thomas, you know, as you all, you know, Charles is out in front, like, you know, nervous energy. He's like following whoever is taking them to the library. And he's like, I didn't even get to ask, you know, what was, you know, and he's like going on. And Thomas is walking next to you, watching Charles, and he goes, has he always been this way?
It switches between that and crime. I think I prefer this
yes.
How have you been?
Yes.
How's the pot of gold? Just making light conversation in the rain.
Yeah. Thomas kind of looks at you like,
dealing with
okay,
a lot
maybe.
right now. I need some normalcy right now. Tell me how Captain Kira is doing.
Yeah, so he kind of maybe realizes that's what you're doing, and he'll start telling you that they've been chasing the Whisper and where it's been going from a distance as much as they can. And he tells you that they have been up in the sea near the Sarmatian, that they were heading that way when Charles figured out, he got some information from the unseen, from the Invisible College, because they do have Porte mages employed by the Invisible College, and Charles, as a member of that, was marked when he left, so that they could give him messages and they could get information.
That's very convenient.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there are Montaigne who are in the Invisible College, so. And since this was such an important mission, and Thomas is always telling you this, and you're kind of like, wow, Charles told you an awful lot, didn't he?
He's very
but, you know, Thomas is charming like that. Yeah, Charles is charming.
The fact that he got just words out of him is impressive.
Mm-hmm.
I applaud his restraint. No.
Yeah.
And Nanette also asked how his walk was. Like, he didn't have any issues getting through the place between.
Well,
was it
when I
worse than
saw
usual?
you, it made a lot more sense.
Oh.
Well,
Not
you know,
good,
the
then.
in-between always says things. But they were saying awful things about what they were going to do to you.
They're very mad. So mad. It's fine.
It's
have a
not
lot of
fine.
learning to do.
I don't even think you know what that word means. At all.
It's a mantra that keeps me going at night, so it's
I mean, look around you, Nini. None of this is okay.
honestly better than last night. Marginally better. I give you that, but still better than last night. I'll tell you all about it once we get out of the rain. There's quite a bit. I need to borrow any books you have on Porte at a later time.
You know, you freaked out when I made your birthday gift. You haven't used Porte because you're so scared, and now you're going in there and making the in-between upset?
I have a particular talent. You know, I'm only really good with people. Sometimes.
Besides, and he says, and Mom and Dad thought they had to worry about me. And he just, like, goes to try to catch up with Charles after tossing that over his shoulder.
Yep, I deserve that. I deserve that.
And yeah, you get to the library, and sure enough, the library had these huge windows in the convent, and they have busted in from the wind, so it's very cold and rainy in here, and lots of books. And by the time you walk in, you see a mound of books that you suspect is Charles, because it is wobbling very precariously. The poor boy has tried to carry as many as he possibly, maybe even more than he could handle, to try to save them.
All right. You know, not the most optimized way of just, you're gonna hurt yourself and the books in the process. Look, we've brought some waterproof, wax-lined cloaks. Let's try to get what's most important and keep ourselves safe.
Charles gives you a look like you're asking me to choose between children. Like, choose?
Look, you can't save them all, Charles.
Oh, really? Wow, everybody in chat, please note that. This is what I have to deal with. This is the sass I have to deal with. The audacity. The audacity to say that to me. The audacity, even if I'm playing it on PC. Okay, I get it. All right, cool. All right, so you all are going to work at saving books and calming Charles down and helping. So I will leave you to help with that. We're going to go back to the docks now. Now, Gianni, you have a choice. I do not want you to, like, miss out on a lot of fighting if you want to be in part of that. So you can kind of continue to be part of the ritual, part of the sorte untangling, or you could choose to protect your mom and the other sisters. I will say, if you choose to kind of turn around and help protect them, like from the people that are coming, that you kind of know, you'll still be able to help somewhat. They can still pull from your magic, but it will only be at half successes. So let's say you rolled 4 successes, they would get 2 of those to add to it instead of your full force.
Yeah. Nah, I've got a plan.
Alrighty, do
Yeah,
inform me of what that plan happens to be. What is your plan? What are you going to do?
I have been saving up my lashes. And
Oh no. Okay, no, go for it. Go for it. I'm ready. I'm
with
ready.
Major Pull, I can target now the number of brutes per lash. Now, I'm at 6 currently.
Yes.
But I can also start taking lashes and getting a little bit more hurt. The overall effect, let's just go cut to the end. I'm going to take 12 wounds.
Okay.
I'm basically going to say I do not have time for this. I'm going to reach out towards them, grabbing their fate strands, and tossing 12 people into the air.
Alrighty. Excellent. All right.
I'm going to spread out the people, because if I can take out half the number of a brute squad, then the rest of the brute squad is thrown to the ground and cannot act on the round.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Okay.
12 people, 3 people per group. That will take 4 groups out of the next round of combat.
Mm-hmm. And there will still be 2.
Yeah, 12 people are going to go flying.
All right.
So I'm having...
So yeah.
Yeah. But I'm now...
Okay.
pretty darn hurt.
Okay, so yeah, go ahead and you can make your sorte roll now to see if you're gonna get what successes you get.
All right. Back to that. Let me make sure I can do all that. All right. So I'm spending a hero point. There's no roll on that, but I do take all that damage.
Okay, all right. So you'll take that damage then.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just assumed. I didn't know you had done it yet. I just assumed you were taking them.
Oh yeah.
So.
But that takes me just past my second dramatic.
All right. All right. Did you make your sorte roll to see how many?
For that, there's no roll on that. It says all that damage hits me.
Oh, okay. Yeah, but I meant to try to undo some of the threads. Yeah.
Four. All right. Ooh. 2, 3. I got 4, so that's 2 successes if that's halved.
Okay. Cool. All right. So, and that's 4. So you're up to 12 on that. All right. Andreas, you're gonna be first in line for this. So let's go ahead and
hold on. I would like to declare my approach.
Yeah. I was just trying to figure out how to. Yeah. So what we're gonna do is how this is gonna work is Gianni will take his turn, and he'll be able to choose to do something like what he just did and do half, or he can put his full attention each turn on the sorte threats. Either one, he'll be able to choose each round that we do. You two, we're going to run it just like a regular battle, where everyone will declare their approach, they'll roll the raises, and we will see how it goes. Okay?
Okay.
How's that sound? All right. So, yeah, declare your approach, Andreas.
My approach is to not have my blades in my hand. I literally walk up pseudo-casually in this weather to where Jimenez and them are walking. Hopefully they slow down going, what in the hell is going on? Especially with all the things thrown up. And Andres is going to look Jimenez dead in the eyes and go, they are trying to help.
Yes.
They are trying to save your lives. I have had a hell of a week. And if you could just go back to hunkering down in the chapel, that would be absolutely best right now. So please, go the fuck away before we have to make this worse.
Okay. All right, and what's your approach, Ace? What are you gonna do?
I'm going to wait and see if she attacks, and then I will shoot.
Okay, so you're gonna hold?
Mm-hmm.
All right. And let's see her action. All right. She doesn't even, she is livid. And so she does not seem to care or pay any attention to what you're trying to say. She is mad that she got duped. All of that stuff, her bad day is catching up with her. So she's gonna attack. So she is gonna be doing...
Do I still get to roll my dice? That's, I was going for an intimidation.
Yeah. Okay, so you want to do your roll for yeah. Yeah, you can go ahead and try, but, I mean, I'm just gonna say, she's not really in her right mind to, like, listen or be intimidated. She kind of ran out into the hurricane. Like, really
Yes,
upset.
agreed. But if you don't let me roll, I don't get actions.
So it's fine. Well, the thing is like if you can, I'll let you go ahead and say your statement as like a free thing. So if she attacks you and you want to like reciprocate,
I'll defend
you can go
myself at
ahead
that
and
point.
yeah, you can go ahead and do that.
Okay. Then I will defend myself. So that's a different pool.
Yeah.
So
Let's
4,
see.
4, 2, 1. That.
All right. I mean, because technically, yes, but I mean, considering what you were doing and stuff, I mean, if you want to say that and see if you can get through to her and it doesn't, I'm not gonna count that as one of your actions.
Okay.
Because that just, you know what I mean? Because you wouldn't have known, and you might have done different if you knew it wasn't gonna, there's a whole bunch of stuff that goes into that. So we'll just go from there. You tried, it did not work. She's
6.
too upset. All right, so we got 1. All right. All right. Let me know when you're finished.
Sure. 7 plus 1. 7 with 1 extra.
7 with 1 extra. Okay. All right. So she is going to try to lunge at you. So she is going to take she has 4 in weaponry and she got 3 raises. So that would be 7.
Yep. She
Right.
auto does 7 damage.
Yeah.
Conveniently, though, it burns all the raises.
Yeah, so, you're managed to, like, not let her hit you. I assume, because you're, just defending.
No, I can't.
Right.
I can't avoid that damage. It's part of lunge.
Right.
I auto take 7.
Okay, alright. So you'll take that, so then you can use your successes to try to, like, parry, or whatever, or heal, or whatever you want to choose to do with yours.
You know what? Andreas is just fed up with this. They're trying to stop someone from helping them. He tried to be reasonable. And
He
he
did.
looks and he just goes, "Let's make a deal. I want to be one with this storm." And he is
Really? Okay.
creating a brand new deal.
For a storm.
A storm deal. Because nothing he has will manipulate this storm.
Okay, cool. All right. So the Davis, who obviously looks dry as a bone, because obviously, he's kind of been watching all. They've kind of been watching all this.
So I will burn one of my raises to activate Senderis, and hero point as well to activate Senderis.
Okay, cool. So, the Davis, it says, really? That can be arranged. And you feel, you asked to be, so you now have a storm deal. and we will have to figure that out later.
Okay, we'll
But,
figure out the minor
like,
stuff later.
The minor stuff later. But for the major stuff, you're gonna be able to help them unravel this storm because you are now one with it. So you can help them separate this storm from those sorte things. You can basically assist them in what they're doing.
I figured that was going to be
and-
one of the effects. The other
Yeah,
thing I
and-
would like from this is
Uh-huh.
that Andreas is now moving so fluidly with the water in the storm that none of the enemy strikes can hit him, but he can interpose to stop any attacks that go against. Basically, he can choose to take the damage for any of the sisters, but they, unless he chooses, cannot touch him.
Okay. So you want to basically be better able to defend in a storm, essentially. Is that what the effect you're asking for is? Okay. All right, I can work with that. All right, so from now on, you'll be able to add and help. You can fully okay, so you're gonna have the same thing as Gianni. You can fully try to help and concentrate on helping them with the storm and controlling it. Or you can do half and continue to, like, fight forward.
He's fully going to be
these
only
things.
giving half. He'll be doing the fight thing because he doesn't want them to be touched. He tried to be reasonable.
Okay, yeah. Well, we'll start doing that next time. Ace, you have seen Jimenez just go after Andreas. So, yeah. It's all in. So,
Okay, then
what is
yeah,
Ace going to do?
I would like to take a shot with the musket, since I probably have some distance between me and them. So
Yeah, if you're up on the ship, you're up there, and they're, like, on the wharf in the docks. So, yeah.
I do not have as many skills with this, so it won't be a normal ace gun roll. Let's see. But I assume it's still finesse and aim.
Yeah.
Pretty sure that's all I can do. I'm technically on a sea. I'm on a ship, but do
are?
my sea legs count because we're not really out?
Oh yeah,
Starboard?
you're in a storm and crap, so
Okay,
definitely.
I'll take
I
that
think you're
bonus
still
die.
riding that on
This
the
is
deck. Is
Technically a
counts.
canal.
Okay.
Yeah, she's on the water and she's having to deal with the rough waters while she's doing this, so I say it counts. Because
Okay,
anyone who
sounds
doesn't
good.
have that experience would have a much harder time doing
Let's
that.
see here. All right. What do we got? Just give me a second. I got a lot of pretty good numbers. I can re-roll one if I so choose. I do. That's better. That's a 15. That's a 15. That's a 15, and that's a 7. So that's 2, 4, 6. 6 with 2 die left over.
Okay, cool. So do you have I'm trying to, it's been so long since we've done weapons. I should know.
Yeah. So essentially, if
They
I hit, they get a dramatic wound. If I use 2 raises with the hit, though, they get a dramatic wound and 2 wounds, and then I have to spend 5 raises to reload.
Okay.
And they cannot negate
right.
the damage of guns, I think, unless I think there's a way for her to.
Yeah.
But
yeah, there is a way for her to, but the brutes just kind of, if you hit them, they kind of, just go. So
yeah, this
are
gun
taken
is
out. So.
using a rifle or a musket. I do not have the same skills as I do if I use a pistol. So this is kind of just I'm actually not going to reload this one. I'm just going to fire it, toss it aside.
Toss it in. Okay.
It's more like,
Cool.
hey, I'm here, bye-bye, and I'm actually going to shoot her.
Okay, you're going to go at her.
I'm going to go right at her, and basically as a we have bullets to talk over.
All right. Cool. And how are you putting it all on her? Then?
Yeah, I would do the 2 raises for sure, or I would use
That's
as many as you'd let me, but yeah. All it says here is it's 1 dramatic wound plus 2 wounds. So it's technically at 12. She takes 12. Yeah.
All right.
That's
Cool.
how that works.
Yeah. Well, she'd be she'd
7.
be in a good
7.
position. 7.
7 is
So.
math.
All right. All right. So that's. All right. So you got her for 7.
Yeah, I spend 2 raises on that.
All right. Excellent. All right. And so you only have you have like 2 shots
And
in that.
the game does not, as far as I can tell, the game book does not give any specifics on. It just says you shoot and then you have to spend a lot to reload. So
All right. And you're not doing that, right?
I am not reloading it. So I'm going to save my other 4 raises
For
in
the
case
pistol. Okay.
in case I need to use them for something else.
All right. Well, I'm gonna say that you can, if you're gonna use your, raises for that. Now, do you want to try to, use them now or hold off if you need them?
I mean, if you'll let me fire with another weapon, I with them, I will.
Yeah. As I say,
Yeah, I'm gonna say you can do that. Yeah.
Okay.
So, because I think.
Go ahead.
Yeah, because she used all of hers. So she used up. She was like, I'm going for this, and used all hers. And I think Andreas used all, right?
I used
How many do
exactly
you
1
have?
raise to do all that. I have 6 left.
Oh, okay. All right, then, Ace, I'm going to say go ahead and take your other shot, then. Hey, toss that weapon aside and go ahead and...
Do you want me to roll again or
and-
just use the raises I already got? I'll
just
go
use
with
the raises you got.
Okay,
Yeah,
then yeah,
just go
then
with
we'll
the
just
raises
use
you got.
we'll just use the 4. Yeah, I have 4 more, and wherever those need to
Okay.
go.
Okay, cool. All right, so we'll take out 4.
So you shot
There's
who?
my thing.
I shot Inquisition soldiers.
Yeah,
Okay,
you just
those
wanted to
brute
go for
squads.
some brutes, right?
I
Okay.
shot her once for 7.
Okay. And doesn't that do dramatic wounds? with the
A
firearm?
singular dramatic wound and then 2 extra,
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
according to the book.
Yeah.
And that's the
Okay.
thing that I don't understand. I don't know if she has she has a dramatic wound and then 2 regular wounds. I don't know if I don't know if that means 7 or if that means 2 plus a bad.
It means 7. It means 1 dramatic, so she gets filled up with
Plus
the
2
dramatic,
more.
and then 2 extra.
That's
Yeah.
what I thought. That's
I
what
would
was
say.
counting. Okay, that works for me.
Yeah. All right. Cool. Yeah. So you take out 4 brutes. Like you shoot her, toss that aside, and taking out some more brutes. All right.
Sweet.
So, yeah. So we'll go back to Nanette. Oh wait, no, you still have raises, don't you, Michael?
Andreas
what do
is
you
going
wanna
to
do
use
with
us.
those?
Andreas is basically at this point, since he's effectively fluid, because he's one with the rain. Yeah, it's kind of weird. He's even more wet. He basically just ignores the Menez completely and uses a slash against the one of the other brute squads, doing 4 wounds to them immediately.
Alrighty. So yeah, so you take those guys out.
He will then, so that's 1. And then he's going to wait to see if any of them go after the sisters, so he can parry, riposte, and that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Some you weren't dealing with are starting to head toward the docks. So if you want to go ahead and use your riposte and all that, go ahead.
When they go to attack Gianni or one of the sisters, Andreas just appears out of the rain, blocks the blow with a riposte, and immediately does 4 wounds to them as well. At this point, he's
Okay.
effectively a ghost.
Mm-hmm. All right, cool. All right. Okay then. All right. So, is that all? That's all your races then, right?
I have 4 more. He'll parry another group, parry slash. That's another 4 wounds, and then he can riposte again and parry again. So
Okay.
this is basically him just ignoring him and using these abilities to just absolutely tear through. But he has to keep cycling them because he can't do the same one over and over.
All right. So by the time you're finished, there are 4. Yeah. So there's like 12 left. Of the ones that had came, because Gianni had thrown 12, and then Ace got a few. So, and then you got like 8, I think. So, yeah. So there's like 12 left. That are still there, and Jimenez is still going, though she looks a little wrecked. So with that being said, we will go back to the convent. So you have been saving books. You know.
We're doing the needful. It's not glamorous, but someone has to do it.
Yeah, you know, everyone is thoroughly soaked from being in the library. Charles accidentally gets some glass on him trying to save a book that was underneath a broken window. That, you know, he gets help with, and Thomas tells him to be careful, and it's just this whole thing. And you're kind of like, what? Okay, I know there's a storm going on, but okay.
This is a weird dynamic, and I don't know how to feel about this right now. But you know, it's kind of adorable, and they're at least helping each other, and that's what we need right now. This little positivity, this little beautiful ray of sunshine in an otherwise very dreadful stormy day.
And the sisters and anyone who can help, they're going to try to put something over the windows, at least try to get up there if they can. The winds are pretty bad, but they're going to see, like, if they can do something about that to at least help the damage or whatever. So you can definitely help with that if you want. You can help with, you know, moving books. You can help with the windows. You can check in on Charles and Thomas. You can try to see what type of books you're saving. You could talk to one of the sisters. You have a lot of options. Talk to some of your staff. You could do whatever you want to do in that case.
Yeah, the priority is really going to be to keep this place as structurally sound as possible. So we'll probably be focusing efforts on keeping as much water out, keeping, you know, as few windows broken as possible, ideally, because that's just not going to be great. There's time to review the books later, especially like with everything else going on. Priorities will be to just help as many people that are, if anybody got like wounded by the storms, you know, get them coordinated. The focus is going to be on repairs and maintaining that. Charles is the bookman.
Cool. Yeah. Okay, cool. So let's do wits and empathy again. Or you could do something like scholarship. I mean, if she's gonna like focus on like doing stuff, she might use her scholarship to try to like help find the best places to shore up or whatever, or best strategies for fixing stuff.
She's read some things about structural integrity when, you know, acquiring properties, so she would probably know a thing or two about how to best shore up certain places and where it will likely be safest for people.
Right, cool. So go ahead and do your wits and scholarship then. I'm gonna say let's go for 4 successes.
Sorry, it's a lot of numbers.
Math.
That's okay.
Math,
Math. Mathity math.
It's just not discrete math, is it?
Okay, we don't talk about discrete math.
I'm sorry, that was my bad.
Seven raises and 1 die left over.
Okay, that's excellent. So yeah, you managed to save quite a lot. Managed to make it like it so could have been worse without you there, for sure. I mean, that's more than enough to, you thought you were gonna lose part of this library because you couldn't shore up the window, but then you like figured it out and got some help, and so you have been doing that. Awesome. Okay, cool. Is there anything else is she gonna check on her friends? Is she gonna check in on other? I mean, I know you're kind of just wandering around repairing stuff, so I do certainly want to give you an opportunity if you want to get in on the action that you can, if you so like.
I mean, she will occasionally ping the marks, but they seem to be all at the dock, so they're probably they're doing something, but they're all whole.
Since Andreas is now one with the storm, does Nanette now sense his mark as the storm itself?
Yeah, that's weird.
Nah, well, I mean, it's sort of like, be one with it. I don't think so.
Hard.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
I think it's a theoretical be one with the storm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's I picture
so
it more
literal.
like controlling.
You're
But,
not clouds and water right now.
Oh.
Let a man dream.
That would have been too much for one hero point, I think.
I would
Yeah.
like to go check on Suzette as well.
That's a huge cost.
Because Nanette hasn't had a chance to really see how Suzette is doing after all of this. It was kind of like get you out of the place between, and also here, hang out here, get your wounds treated. I'm gonna go. So just we'll make sure that she's okay mentally, physically, as best as any of us can be.
Yeah, who were you gonna find specifically?
Suzette.
Oh, Suzette. Yeah,
basically Nanette's most important person. So
yeah, she's resting. She doesn't seem to be. She's kind of just resting as best she can, but so she doesn't truly kind of wake up when you go check on her, but she's breathing fine and and all that stuff. So she seems relatively okay where all the other injured people are.
Well, Nanette will stroke her hair and whisper reassurances and go back to
Helping
managing.
All right. Okay, so we're gonna go back to the docks. Okay, we'll start with Gianni as before. So are you gonna turn around and try to help out and do half, or are you putting your full attention on pulling these storm threads, these fate threads?
How many people are left still standing?
12.
There's 12. Yeah.
Besides him and us.
Yeah.
I am going to take down 7 more. I'll spend a hero point, leaving me with 2 points of health on my track.
Okay. So if that happens, then you're incapacitated.
If I go any lower, yeah.
Yeah, he goes helpless.
Yeah. Yeah. You're gonna drop to the dock if that happens. Okay, so you're gonna do 7 more.
7 more, which also causes, again, the rest of that team can't act because they're reacting to all of a sudden all their friends flying through the air.
All right. Indeed. All right. So so you're watching people fly. Yeah. Okay. So now roll your sortie. See how many you get for that.
And at this point, my tents now explode. Which I have 2 of those. So that is 4 successes.
No, you get to roll those again.
Oh, okay.
That's what exploding means.
Thank you. So 2 successes.
It's not throwing shadows.
I wish. 3.
And you do have
4.
that extra D10 too.
5. Thank you.
You also have rerolls, probably.
Rerolling that one then. There we go. That is 6 successes, halved 3.
All right. You all are at 20 now. 20 of 50. Because that was 6, right?
It was 6 half to 3, he said.
Yep, 6 half to 3.
Oh, 6 half to 3. Okay, so that's 17. All right, cool. All right. Declare your approaches, Ace and Andreas.
She is thinking. Please go ahead.
Oh, I'm going to do something fanciful, and I'm going to hop down off the ship, and I'm going to just start shooting people. I've got 2 pistols, 1 in each hand, and I'm just going to start shooting fish in a barrel.
Sweet. Okay, so that'll, of course, be firearms and aim when we get to rolling, for sure. I mean,
brute squads, right?
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, now it does, yeah, because I'm on pistols.
Okay.
Yeah.
Does it fully take them out?
No, it lets me take out. I can spend raises to reduce the strength of brutes by finesse.
Okay.
So I could take out 4 at a time, I think, per raise I use on it.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
All right. We'll run the steel then. Because I think I'll need those skills to defend Gianni after what he just did. I think Andreas is going to kind of pseudo appear out of the rain. He's been just slipping through in front of Jimenez and go, there's still a chance for you and the rest of your men to run. Please don't make me finish you off. As he brandishes his blades and prepares for to fight her truly.
Okay. All right, cool. So that's going to be, yeah, you're going to do your intimidate now?
Sure, I'll do intimidate.
Or are you going to appeal to her? Yeah. Intimidate? Or are you going to try to, like, empathy? Like, what's the track he's going to take?
I'll go with empathy, actually. I'm trying to appeal to her.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Because initially she wasn't, but now she's watched her men, like, fly, essentially, and be, like, shot and whatever. So she's probably a little more open to this right now. So, so we're going to go ahead and say, because there are only, after what Gianni did, there's 5 left in Jimenez. Because Gianni took out, like,
7.
he took out, like, 12.
12 and 7, and the rest can't act right now.
Yeah. So, 7.
Ace did 7, I did.
Yeah. So you did
I did
a
dumb number of wounds.
Yeah, so, I mean, that's like 5 left by my calculation. So, go ahead and make your... Okay, so Ace and Andreas make your roll, and I'll have her make her roll. So... Yeah, let's just go ahead and do that.
Do I get a die for being dramatic?
Sure.
And do you want to use what's I know empathy, but do you want me to use wits or panache?
Wits.
Wits. Okay.
All right.
So not bad for me. Uh, 5 with 1 left over. I actually rolled really well.
All right. Yeah, I mean, You would need one initially to do it, and then yeah, I mean, because I was gonna have like, and how many did you get?
I got 5 total successes with 1 left over.
Okay, all right. And Ace, what did you get on your firearms?
4 successes with 1 left over.
Okay. All right. So, you got 4, you said?
I did, yeah. So I would,
Yeah,
I
okay.
would, yeah, I would use 2
Yes.
of those on Jimenez, and I would use the other 2 to take out the brute squad.
All right. Yeah, because it goes in number of raises as the person whose action goes first.
Yeah, so yeah, Michael gets to go first then.
Yeah, so he did his statement, his whatever, and Jimenez kind of looks like, you know, her hair is dripping too, like, you know, she's absolutely soaked as well, all her nice stuff, and she starts to look around at what everything is going on, and she will just kind of glare and you know, kind of do a gesture, and like the men and those that can pick themselves up, you know, that were incapacitated, they all start going, or they start moving back, and she's keeping an eye on y'all the whole time. So Ace, you could still shoot, or you can, you know, I mean, do what you want to do if you like, since he went first and has kind of influenced her.
I will then remove my raise from her, and I will focus on her men, because Ace is concerned that she could kill Jimenez if she shoots her again, and that is not my kill to take.
All right. Cool, yeah, so you do get the men, and basically at this point they kind of like all go down, and they're just like trying to like crawl away, essentially. So yeah, okay.
And stay off my boat.
Yeah, she's just like, what have I stepped into at this point? And so yeah, so they'll go off, and so now it's just the sisters and Gianni and y'all out there right now. So let's go ahead, and Andreas, you can do your full attention. Gianni, you can do your full attention if you like, or did you want to? You look like you wanted to do.
I was actually going to ask if
that.
I could roll my half attention one, but if I get full attention, sure, I'll take it.
Well, okay, no, because you took, yeah, we'll say half, because you used part of it to try to convince Jimenez to not do anything.
That's
So
fair.
yours will be half, I think, and then well, no, because that would be a huge the end of the round, so we would be starting a new one. So it would be basically Gianni and you doing successes, because he took his, then you did yours, then and then it kind of all resolved. So we're kind of in a new round right now. So Gianni, go ahead and do your sortie. They're now running away, so you can do your full attention if you want on that. And Andreas, you can as well, trying to assist.
That's a quick question. Is this considered using a demon for good, since I'm trying to quicken this and save lives?
Gosh. He's just
I guess I would say so.
just playing that haggle game with the mechanics.
No. That's one of my backgrounds.
I know. You
Yeah.
just every roll. Can I do this? That's just funny.
You got to ask for it, otherwise you'll never get
Yeah.
it.
Answer's always no
Yeah.
at that point. All right. Take it. Not as good as you, Gianni. I only got 3.
3.
This is new.
Gianni.
I had 5. I'm just taking advantage of the rerolls and all the damage I got.
How many did you get? I'm sorry.
I
5?
had 5.
Okay.
Yep.
Alright. So at this point, you know, you all can take all the time you need to go ahead and you know, unravel these things, because you know the Inquisition aren't there anymore. And so once you have undone all of the threads, the storm seems to dissipate. It starts to, you know, just the clouds start to like disappear and spread out, and the rain stops. It, you know, slows to a drizzle. As you had done on more and more threads, it started to get less and less and less until, like, by the time you're finished, you know, it's all over. So yeah, so now you are standing there with your mother and the other sisters and Andreas and Ace, soaked to the bone, but the sun has come out. Yeah, the sun has come out, the storm has passed, and over in the convent, you all noticed this as well, that the storm has passed and dissipated.
They did it! And we all celebrate.
We
Yeah.
should probably
just
send for
cheering.
Lynette and all her people, right?
What's that?
We should probably send for Lynette and all her people.
If that's what you want to do, Ace goes. She just goes back and gets on the ship.
Yeah.
This is ours now. This is ours now. We want it fair and square.
I'll ask my mom if she and her sisters headed back to the convent to please send Nanette and anyone who's coming with us.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't
Cool.
think we're leaving now, Gianni. We're gonna wait a week.
Are we?
Well,
Are we?
go ahead.
The plan was to wait until all the people got out. Is that not the plan anymore because the Inquisition's been defeated? I'm going on what was discussed before we all separated. If you guys are changing that, then yes, you need to go talk to Nanette, because she's the one who makes the decisions. So you don't get to just pick that.
Okay.
It feels like this is a good opportunity for us to get the ship out without any hassle.
I
Go
will
talk
also
to Nanette.
point out,
What do you want me to say?
Okay, I'll go talk to Lynette.
To go say goodbye.
I will also point out that that was not all the people Jimenez had on those ships. That was like a contingent. So
Sure. That's
You
why I
know.
don't think that they're defeated yet. It's just this part is over now. So
right.
The best time to steal
Alright.
a ship.
that's why
So
I'm
who's
staying
going
on it.
back to see Nanette? Is it Gianni? Okay. So you go with your mom and the sisters back to the convent. Is that what your plan is? Okay.
Mhm.
So you start walking, and your mom says, you know, as you're walking, she says, "You did well, Gianni. Good to see
hope
your
so.
training went well."
What I want to do now is get everybody where we need to be and take a nap myself.
I understand. I've never seen anything that before myself.
Are you going to be okay?
I think so. I know it's very soon, but what do you plan to do should you meet Dante again?
I was on the fence about it. But the thing is that the willingness to use other people. It's bad enough that he's willing to kill people. Just as a pirate. But the fact that he will use people's life force to drive sorcery, cannot be certain that everybody willingly knew it was going to happen.
It's true. That's some dark usage of our ability.
I will. It is my goal to sever his ability to do anything like that again. Whatever that means.
She nods. And you know, she like hooks her arm in yours, you know, like, you know, and pats your arm as you walk back to the convent. So eventually Gianni, his mother, and some of the sisters come back. I assume, you know, you've been cleaning up or whatever this whole time, and Charles is quite fascinated by the books and going through them and checking them for damage and all of that sort of thing. Well, after that,
Gianni, you look like shit. Come in, come in. Let's get you some soup. There is someone who would very much like to see you.
Okay.
Come.
Okay.
And then it kind of like tugs him along to like wherever Charles and Tomas have cozied up.
Charles!
He would be very excited to see you.
Tomas.
Gianni,
It's good
look
to
at
see
all
you.
these books. He says.
Well, okay. We have to act quick, or decide quick anyway. So, I tricked all the Inquisition into leaving the dock. And we had a fight while the storm was going. We defeated most of them. And Jimenez ran. We have a boat, if we wish to leave now. The other boats are sunk.
One of the Inquisition boats.
Yes, the Fortuna.
Well, that. Well, the convent is mostly secured, but we do not know what the Inquisition will do. But this is what we had wanted to do all along. We should go for it. What better blow can we strike the Inquisition than to take their flagship?
Agreed.
And
But
you can
people-
take all your people with you if you want. Yeah,
Oh, yeah, I
mean,
will offer them the option if they would like to stay here and help with the cleanup and the restoration. Please, I don't want to force you into a life of piracy, but that is what we're doing. But I assure you, you will be paid handsomely for it, and we'll get dental.
Indeed. Yeah, it's about the same split as before. Like the people who are ready to fight wanna go with you. And the others, you know, will choose to stay there and either help the sisters or help the restoration, or they'll, you know, go to family elsewhere, you know, any of those options. The 12 that are including Suzette are not quite in any position to like be moved yet. They're still shot, but Angelique says, you know, that they will take care of them. She'll say, you know, they can stay with us until they have come back into themselves.
I have made sure that you shall get a steady supply of funds and supplies, whatever you need. I know I have asked a lot of you, and you have done far more than I could have ever expected. So I will make sure to... You will have funding for as long as you need. Say the word, whatever you need.
She smiles and she goes to give you a very gentle hug if Nanette wants one.
Oh, very much so.
She has a very motherly presence, and she'll, you know, pat your hair, you know.
Mother never hugged me. This feels nice.
She's Montaigne. They don't hug.
We
What?
don't hug. It's true.
What's going on? We don't hug. Yeah, and she'll say, you know, she'll say, we could use your help in this with the sisters, so I appreciate your offer. We are always looking for people to help us.
And as I promised, as soon as the repairs to the docks are likely done, there will be a boat in the sister's name, ready. What you may do with it as you wish.
She gives you a kiss on the forehead, and she says, "Take care of my boy for me. Lord knows he can barely take care of himself sometimes.
That's
The
true.
things he gets into."
Maybe I'll take some.
Although look who she's
medical
talking
supplies.
to. She really does not know Nanette's penchant for,
Look, we're
And
two
Angela
peas of a
said
pod. Maybe I'll take some
she's
like
telling the
medicinal
worst one
supplies.
to take care of the other one. Okay, out of all the chaos, come on. Come
Okay,
on.
please. I think Gianni takes the crown. I will accept the slightly smaller crown and bloodier
It's
crown.
called a tiara.
Yeah,
tiara.
mine's a tiara, and it's definitely made of blood and rubies. But we'll take some basic supplies, especially medical supplies, since Gianni is in terrible shape. And
Yeah.
anybody else who wants to join us, and we'll also have at least one person go fetch the crew of the Utrecht, because Ace told me where they were. See, like,
Yeah.
are you still up? Like, are you still up for
You're-
kicking some Inquisition ass
You're gonna
and
go.
taking
you're
their
gonna
ship?
You're gonna go take my crew.
I'm not gonna
before
take your crew. I'm just gonna tell them to meet us at the dock because we're gonna get into shenanigans.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so Nanette is bringing the people that go with her there, has set up that. Gianni, what are you going to do at the convent, if anything? Or what are you gonna do in between
For
while
me,
that's happening? Mm-hmm.
literally. Well, Charles, are you coming with us?
He kind of Charles looks over at Thomas, and Thomas kind of like, yeah, of course we're going. We came all this way. We'll go
then
with
you're
you.
going to need some help getting all that onto this ship. And
Well,
so
we have a
I'll
brute
help you get
squad.
some books and load them up on the ship.
I'm tickled by the imagery of like Gianni trying to untangle Charles from a pile of books like a little dragon.
Like, you'll have to leave the books behind. We can't take them. And Charles is just like, no. He's like, can I take your mom told me that I could have which some books. Could I take like 10? Like 10 books?
10 dozen?
10?
Yeah, why not?
Okay. He like looks super happy, and he starts going through the books trying to decide which 10 he wants to bring with him. Because he has a whole pile that Angela said he could have. So, and he's gonna ask the convent if they'll keep them for him until he can come back and get the rest of them that they offered. So yeah, okay, cool. So he's gonna do that. Thomas is helping as much as he can. Charles, like, move the books and everything like that. Thomas has like, Charles is like, I'll take this one, definitely this one. Oh no, wait. And he's like switching them back and forth. And Thomas is just like standing there, like waiting for him to choose the books that he's going to take with him. I assume you're gonna get some healing, Gianni, for your...
Yeah, but I fear I'm going to be resting up mainly on the ship.
Yeah.
More than
okay.
anything,
yeah.
He's like, we got to book it with the books. The Inquisition may return.
Mm-hmm. All right. Yeah. Thomas tries to hurry. He's like, come on, Charlie, come on, hurry up. We got to just pick
Charlie.
10.
I didn't know you were on such close times already. It's been 2 days. You were very fast, Thomas.
What's going to happen in 3 days?
He gives you a look.
Wouldn't be surprised. You take after father like that.
You take that back. All right, yeah. So, and then, so I assume Nanette, are you all set at the convent to head to the boat?
Yeah,
I think
they're about as squared away as they can be. As like a precautionary measure, I think I'm gonna leave a major mark there just in case.
Okay.
But yeah, in case
There
like
you go.
anything happens, Angeli, there's still a mark on your rosary. If anything happens, you just remove that mark, and we'll find a way to get to you. But hopefully, the Inquisition shall not bother you further.
Yeah, she nods.
And I'll leave
And
Suzette a letter. Just, something. I don't want to wake her up. She's resting. Just appreciation and wishing her the best.
Awesome.
Thank you for years
Cool.
of service.
And okay, so after you do that, before y'all leave, your mom is going to come over and she will give you a hug and say, "Take care of yourself, Gianni."
My best. And he hugs her back.
What was that? I'm sorry.
Oh, he says, "I'll do my best," and then he hugs her back.
Yeah. She gives you a kiss on the forehead too and hugs you. And she says, "I want to see you again. So don't stay so long away."
I'll be back. It may take a bit. I don't really like the portal travel.
All right. So you two and Charles and Thomas, with the books. So Thomas takes half and Charles takes half. So, they're splitting. They each have 5 books, and the 3 that Charles already had. So technically he has like 13 books now. So, and your people, Nanette, will, follow, going down to the boat. I imagine you all like change clothes or whatever to because you have to walk through town and you don't run into Inquisition or whatever, or plainer clothes and stuff like that, I'd assume.
I'm just in bandages and like a cloak at this point. Nothing too fancy.
Yeah. Okay, cool. All right, yeah, so you make it. Okay, so meanwhile, after all that, while they are doing that, Ace and Andreas, you're there with the ship, and Gianni has gone with his mom and her
Andreas,
fellow.
I thought I was alone.
Ace is alone. Andreas went to go say goodbye
Oh.
because he's assuming that we're going to be heading out.
He did.
I did say.
Oh, all right. Okay, cool. All right, then never mind. Then we'll go to Ace. Ace, you're on the boat, seemingly by yourself. You do see people start to come out, and start going to their stuff, and checking damage and stuff like that. They're trickling, so it's not like a huge bustling thing. You see a few people coming out to check the other ships that are in the dock.
So the other 2 ships, did they sink?
Yes. Well, they are not useful right now.
They're just below.
Not.
They're just lowered in the harbor. Okay.
Yeah.
All Ace is gonna do is check the ship for damage and try to assess what might need to be repaired before we can leave.
Okay. Cool. Thankfully, because you stopped the storm pretty relatively quickly, the damage is not too bad. The only reason those other 2 ships sank is because you damaged them.
Right.
But the storm, it was hard, but it wasn't very long until they were able to, get through the storm. So, yeah, so there's not actually too much.
And if I need to, I'll spend a hero point. I don't want to talk to my brother, but I'm going to try to touch the birthmark and just kind of send like a like pulse or something, just to kind of say that. Yeah. I'm not going to try to actually say words or anything, but just kind of a testing of the connection. And
yeah, he's still there.
Okay.
You get it back pretty soon, pretty quickly.
Okay. I leave it at that. He knows he can talk to me if he wants to.
Mm-hmm.
And that, yeah,
Okay.
that's all I do.
Andreas. So you're gonna go to Musketeer headquarters?
Yep, just run through the streets there as quickly as possible, still soaking wet. Left his jacket on the dock.
Yeah, so you get up there and you see some of the musketeers coming back from the palace and all that. They're kind of trickling into the headquarters and everything.
And he'll like
So,
look around for her.
okay. Yeah, it doesn't take too long until you see her. She's changed clothes, and wearing basic training stuff, and she's helping to clear up the courtyard when you walk in because a whole bunch of like debris and things have, whatever. So her and some of the other trainees you can see are cleaning up, helping to clean up like some of the other musketeers are.
Andreas just runs up to her and is like, "I'm glad you're safe. Was there any trouble with the Inquisition?"
We did not see them. I'm glad you're okay. What happened?
They decided to come down to the docks. We and my my friends and I took care of them. And they ended up running away. I gave them a chance to retreat.
Well, and they did?
After we decimated their numbers, they decided that it was better to live and fight another day.
The three of you?
My friend's a really good shot. And I've gotten
Apparently.
better.
She smirks at that. So, what are you doing now? Are you going to stay?
It looks like we're heading out. We're gonna... The guy who sent that storm needs to be taken care of, and it looks like we're probably going to be the ones that have to hunt him down.
Okay.
Want to come for adventure?
And
I can teach you my
she
tricks.
looks around. She looks around. She's like, I have to stay here.
I thought I would at least offer. You know what?
I appreciate that.
When it's all over, if I make it through, I'll come back and look you up. Hopefully you are completely in that musketeer uniform, all bright and shiny, standing there at your post, guarding the Emperor.
She kind of smiles and she's like, all right, fine, get out of here.
He smiles, says, and I bet that he will never have a better guard. Good luck. And he heads down to the docks as quickly as he can.
Yeah, well, as she starts to turn to go, she'll grab his shirt, turn him around, and give him a kiss goodbye. Before, as he starts
This
to
is a
turn.
little from the lunge wound that he'd been ignoring for the most part, but he will he kisses her back and heads out to try to get down to the docks as quickly as possible, knowing that they're probably going to get out here really quick.
Okay, so how are we contacting the Utrecht people?
We have sent a runner, probably one of the servants, who's willing to go with us to the docks. We're like, hey, go to this inn. It's not far from the docks. Let them know that Ace needs them at the docks for the plan.
Okay. All right. So
that's it.
eventually,
Keep it very brief.
everybody converges back on the boat, Ace. I would think Nanette and Gianni come back a little bit later, so Andreas would probably be the first back, since his task would take a shorter amount of time than what they were doing. And then Gianni and Nanette come with Nanette's staff, those who decided to come with her. And then eventually, the Utrecht folks, Keg and the kid, Pip and Squeak, and some of the others show up. So how are we finagling this? How are we greeting each other if we are? What are we doing?
Hugs for the kids, of course. Oh my god, you guys are alive. I'm so happy to see you.
Pip and
Don't mind the
Squeak hug
blood.
on to you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Let's hug. Oh, that's still healing.
Oh man, did your skin rip off? Cool.
Yeah, it'll grow back, hopefully.
Oh man, you're gonna have a scar.
It's gonna be real cool. Okay, that's okay. Enough hugs. Let's get on the boat. Oh. The adrenaline's worn off. It's just pain now.
It's just pain. Just only pain. Yeah, Ace. So, you hear Keg voice shouting up there. Ace! Where's your sorry ass at?
Yeah, I would come out from the captain's cabin and I would say, I think it's you who needs to report for duty, old sorry bastard.
What? Take
First
one
officer,
shit
I
out.
need you on deck.
He kind of stares at you. Gets kind of a glint of admiration in his eyes. Like, well, you heard her. Get on the boat. Let's go. Hop
Ready this
to.
ship for sailing. Fix what needs fixing. And check the, see if there's any, check the munitions.
You hear one of the kids go, ha ha, someone drew a penis on that one.
And if anybody notices, Ace looks really proud.
Andreas will grab his jacket from the wharf where he dropped it, walk towards the gangplank, and respectfully to Ace go, Captain, request permission to come aboard.
Permission granted.
Request permission to go find a bed to collapse in.
Yeah, y'all can pick your rooms. I don't care. There's a few.
Likewise, Captain, is it alright if I come aboard?
Yeah, I guess.
I guess.
Course
I brought you a crew.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you, benefactor. We might need your money to repair this ship, so if you still have any left over.
The credit lines are open. Worry not. And we'll get you something more appropriate for our captain to wear. But for now, let us get out of here before more of them show up.
All your people are accounted for, I assume?
As many as can be. Yes. And taken care of.
If you say we can set sail, then as soon as we're ready, we will.
Cool. Yeah. So it doesn't take long. Like I said, there's minimal damage. You all can quickly and Keg and the Utrecht are like, they're like, and they're commenting on like the fanciness of the ship, and giving you shit about it. Like, you had to pick a fancy vessel. Look at this. And they're just like giving you crap about it. Like, you're gonna be sitting on that throne over there, they're like
so I've got a pile of that throne, a lot of the Cardinals' fancy robes, and I've just thrown it all out onto the deck, and I actually tell Nanette, I'm like, if any of this fabric is of use to you, you are welcome to it, but anything that you don't want from it, I'm gonna just burn.
Oh no, we're going to need to make a new flag out of this. It's going to be beautiful.
Please do, and if you'd like this chair, we can have it reupholstered into something a little bit more mundane, but you can have this throne.
You can burn the chair.
Good.
I mean, the Cardinal's butt sat on it. Like, why?
I mean, why would you? But
no amount of reupholstering will fix that.
Get a new chair. Get a new chair. Get a new one.
We can afford the new chair, I promise.
I'm just going to suggest, take the framing
For
the privy.
I mean,
Oh, that is excellent. I like that plan. That will make it excellent privy.
It's just going to be missing the bottom, and just take the.
just take the seat out.
Can we
Yeah.
call it the papal seat?
the
It can be the poopal seat if you want, but I like
papal
that.
seat. The papal seat.
Oh boy, are we in trouble?
Oh
that
my
gets
God.
Nanette a freaking,
Oh my
freaking hero
God, you
point.
guys! Blasphemy! Blasphemy everywhere! Blasphemy!
Actually, I probably yeah. Some of the finery I will burn in a altar to the old gods, as
Oh.
the Vesson are often wont to do. Instead of burning straight guilders as some do, I will definitely just burn some of the finery that nobody wants.
Sweet.
Okay,
Cool.
As you burn
assuming-
it, Andreas just looks at Davis and goes, "Don't snort that. That's not for you."
And I assume that most of the crew of the Utrecht kind of will see this as a sacred kind of thing, but that will be our tribute to the old gods. Even though Ace doesn't really believe in them, she respects the tradition.
Cool. All right. So I assume you all, organize Nanette's people and the Utrecht people and get them going. And pretty soon, you all are, as ready as you're going to be. You see people more and more like coming out and trying to take care of the city and all of that. You grab some supplies and quickly, yeah.
Hey, Davis, can you put the dress back on? I want to be seen sailing off fabulously.
You
Oh,
have
don't ask that.
I thought you actually had the physical dress.
I don't think it comes off like a normal dress does.
Oh, I thought you just said
realize
she.
if you-
I thought Danny said it transformed your old clothes.
It kind of did. Yeah, but you've been doing a lot of stuff since then. So who knows what the dress repairs?
Before the Davis can answer, I go, "Stop. If they do something for you, you have done a deal with them. They did it for me, not for you when we did the dress."
Well, I think
Davis
that they
is
would
like,
just be
you
nice.
didn't need to tell her that.
Ugh, it's always this way. I figured they would want to do something nice, considering we are going to dedicate the flag in their name.
I mean, if you get a flag dedicated in your name, are you willing to rematerialize that dress?
I am so thankful my crew is clearing this with their captain. That's meta. Go
The
ahead.
Davis says, "Oh, sure, why not?"
Captain?
You are truly-
Are you nearby?
Oh, we're on deck.
Oh, what?
Nanette would like to put on a pretty dress. The cost for that pretty dress is that the flag that will be made by Nanette is dedicated in the Davis's name. You were a little peeved last time when I made a deal that affected you without asking for your consent. You okay with that?
And Ace gives a very pointed look at Nanette and says, "Wear whatever the fuck you want to," and goes back into her cabin.
I'll burn a hero point to activate the Senderis.
He'll switch it for you. You're now wearing a perfect, the dress you were wearing before. Now not, all messed up or anything like that.
And now it sort of seems like my injuries are just part of the dress, so it's alright. And I give
You do
I
make
give the Davis
quite
the
a
kiss on the cheeks.
Aw. Yeah, and you can see people like on the like see you in like the dress and everything, and they're kind of like pointing and stuff like that. So,
Yanni, have you crashed out below decks yet?
Oh yeah. No,
Yeah.
I don't
He's
quite
gonna be
have the
hard
panache
recovering.
and perform of Gianni, but I do have those skills. And I think what Andreas would like to do is shout very loudly so that all who are looking can see, behold, the blood rose of the sea.
The sea! Yay! Yeah, I'm gonna give you that one. Because, they've already been hearing the don't need to roll. No, we'll go with that. You see people kind of look and whisper and stuff. I mean, because Gianni has laid such a foundation for this crap. So, they're like, oh my God, it's her, They're like, and all this stuff. So, unless anybody has anything they really want to do in port, you can sail off when you like.
I would like to give a rousing speech about the glory of Montaigne as we're sailing out. It's like, those who try to hurt Montaigne will face our fury. That sort of thing. We will rise from the storms, from the ashes, stronger than before.
Song on the dock. Like somebody brings up the cheer, like some sort of, country song.
Andreas makes note to get a letter marquee from Montaigne.
Don't worry.
We do need a
Tosh is already on that.
Yes.
If you don't think we're already pulling those sorts of strings, it's done. And then Nanette's gonna grab Tomas by the arm and ask him to help her look for marks on this boat, because we know the Inquisition has Pate mages.
Yes, please.
All right. Thomas is willing to help with that, of course. So you all will start that. And as this ship, the Fortuna, that once was the Cardinal's personal conveyance, starts pulling out of dock, all these people are on docks. They're singing a Montaigne song. You hear other songs, country, because it's not just Montaigne here, but you hear other songs going up as well, because everyone got into it. As you're like pulling out down the canal and out into the sea, as the because it's now you spend most of the afternoon and stuff in that storm, and now it's starting to get evening. So as the evening sun kind of goes down, the ship is sailing out, the Fortuna, for right now, and we shall see where the group is going to go from here. But lastly, before quite going over the horizon, the Davis turns to Andreas and says, now let's talk about that deal.
Oh.
And we're going to end right there. Because you're going to have to pay something for that. Just say it. So,
yeah,
that
was
free.
For the new deals, the step is the payment.
Yeah. But you still have to talk about the parameters of the deal and what exactly.
Oh, yeah, we'll do that.
Yeah. Okay, so there we are. Our people have gotten away from Charuz, and once again, for the second time in this whole series, they're leaving Charuz, and they have they acquired a ship. They acquired it, and we shall come back and see what they are going to be about next time. So until then, John and Rue, do you have anything you need to point out to them before we go?
Yeah, so Thursday night is the final episode of Growing Shadows. It's our Ninja Crusade 2nd edition actual play. It has existed in 2 different forms as podcasts, and it's been a continuous plot line from the beginning, 5 years, and so now we are wrapping it up. The big payoff is on Thursday, so please come out. It's going to be 7 o'clock here. Yeah.
Awesome.
And
all right.
Gen Con next week, everybody who might be going. John and I will be there. I think Michael will be there. Another Michael from the server will be there. If you're not on our Discord server, please check us out. If you like communities where you can feel welcome and loved and accepted and all that stuff, we have a pretty good time over there. And if you want to play some games with us, we're always looking for people to roll some dice with. So check us out there. And other than that, yeah, we'll see you at Gen Con if you're going to be there. We're doing dinner, so let us know.
Well, fair winds and following seas, everybody. Until next week.
Good night, everyone.
Bye bye.
Bye, friends.